4. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
Wind Creek Hospitality is seeking to purchase the Birmingham Race Course. Wind Creek Hospitality is owned overall by the Porch Band of Creek Indians. The acquisition of the Birmingham racetrack would be solidified by 2025. Wind Creek will then continue offering the parimutuel and historical horse racing games. The Birmingham Race Course is currently owned by the McGregor family. A wrongful death lawsuit has been filed in Lawrence County for the mauling death of an elderly man by a pack of dogs. The death of Willard Norton occurred last year. His family has now filed the lawsuit at the end of October. The owners of the unleashed dogs that attacked Norton are identified as Jonathan Nix and Melissa Todd. 83-year-old Norton was killed by the dogs on his own property. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. So much to get to today. If you want to know the mood I'm in, just look at my hat. And if you don't know who this guy on my hat is, his name's Murray Rothbard. I think it says on the side of here, enemy of the state. It's just been one of those H.L. Mencken sort of moods, one of those Murray Rothbard sort of moods. And it's a good thing that I have Judge Andrew Napolitano to join me while I'm in this mood. How you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, Joey. I want one of those caps.
Yeah, it's just, let me put it this way. Kind of start on a word of hope because there's a lot in the world that is not very hopeful. But I know how long you personally in your own career have helped spread the ideas of somebody like a Murray Rothbard. I know that when Rothbard really starts first writing about these things, you could fit the number of libertarians in a phone booth. And to see these ideas grow from people like yourself's work, of course, Ron Paul and so many others, to now I'm watching a random interview with Michael Saylor, the guy's always selling Bitcoin and really pushing it, with Patrick Bet-David. And in passing, he goes, well, you have to understand the economics of somebody like Murray Rothbard. And just to see these ideas that used to be so marginalized, now in the mainstream and rising with the new media, I mean, that has to give us some bit of hope, right?
It does give us some bit of hope, but it's primarily due to the personal courage and extraordinary abilities of Ron Paul to explain these things to a generation of young people now coming of age in a manner that they can understand them, that freedom is better than slavery, that the natural position is freedom. And when you explain freedom and the Constitution in a neutral way, they understand it. And then they can recognize how the government avoids and evades it. Look at Joe Biden over the weekend escalating an undeclared war against Russia, allowing the Ukrainians, and this is a misnomer, I'll tell you why in a minute, allowing the Ukrainians to use offensive American weaponry that can reach 190 miles into Ukraine. What's the misnomer? The Ukrainians are not using it. Americans are. It can only be operated using secret American technology downloaded from a satellite, and that can only be downloaded by a human being that has an American top secret security clearance. So is the United States shooting at Russia? Yes, it is. Has the Congress declared war on Russia? No, it has not. Does Russia pose a threat to the national security of the United States? It does not. But yet we're doing this in the death throes of an abysmal presidential administration, totally and overwhelmingly rejected by the voters 2.5 weeks ago.
And I think this is to your point about what you wrote about 2 weeks ago. Like, is voting kind of this exercise that makes you think you have a say when the folks who are holding power, really, this is blatant. And to see a guy who clearly isn't making his own decisions, Joe Biden, to have his team do this on the way out the door, as clearly at least Donald Trump wants to make peace and stop the violence in this part of the world. It's just unconscionable. And yet I wonder, what do the Russians do in response? I know you've been talking to a lot of folks about this.
Well, President Putin, anticipating that this might be happening, has basically said our response will be proportionate. If a country attacks us, they're fair game. United States attacking Russia. Then he said, if a country uses military equipment supplied by a nuclear power, this is the new part, we reserve the right to use nuclear weapons against that country. Now, Putin seems to me to be reserved and restrained, even to the point where he takes criticism from his own team for not aggressively waging the war in Ukraine, or at least not waging it as aggressively as some members of his team would like. I really don't think that nuclear war is coming, but he would have the right to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine, or weapons of nuclear strength against Ukraine, because Ukraine has the United States attacking inside Russia. Could you imagine if the Chinese entered into an agreement with the Mexicans and there were Chinese ballistic missiles in Tijuana aimed at Dallas? What would we do? Well, we would shoot back at them, or we would shoot before they shot at us.
Yeah, that we would not be restrained. They'd be like, remember the Mexican-American War? Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, it would be on. And so it's interesting, though, that Trump came out with a very forceful statement. I know you've been playing it for some of your guests there on Judging Freedom, and I'll play it for our audience in a little bit. But to characterize what Trump said we're on the brink of World War III. I want a cessation of the violence immediately. I want the violence to stop. And then he goes on to say we need to dismantle the globalist neoconservatives. I mean, what do you make of Trump's statement in this?
Well, that is an attack not only on the neocons in the State Department and the Defense Department and even in the Justice Department, but it's an attack on the neocons in the EU and in NATO. And those countries should be terrified that the United States is not going to pay for their defense any longer, and it's not going to wage war against Russia any longer. That war will stop. Well, at least American support of the war will stop on January 20th.
Well, and I'm almost wondering, and this is pure speculation on my part, that I think Trump wants the war that Israel is prosecuting to stop. And I don't know. Obviously, Trump himself and everybody around him are very much pro-Zionist and in Israel's camp. But I also suspect that Netanyahu doesn't quite have the leverage against Trump that he might want in a moment like this to not do what Trump says.
I don't know how Trump feels. The stories I'm hearing is that he feels very beholden to Mrs. Adelson, who's an ardent Zionist and who donated $100 million to a pro-Trump PAC, that in fact she twisted his arm to name Marco Rubio as the Secretary of State, and that Trump is of the view that Netanyahu can do whatever he wants. But look, I know Trump. At some point, he's going to get sick and tired of the killing. How he reacts to it, I don't know. But right now, the people he has indicated he will nominate, none of them is nominated because he's not the president yet.
Right.
He has indicated he will nominate are ardent Zionists who will support Netanyahu's, in my view, worst impulses.
Well, we shall see, because I just also saw a headline that the Iranians have enriched much more weapons-grade uranium. So that's another. We might end the hot spot there in Eastern Europe, right on Russia's border, and then we're back out of the frying pan into the fire. It just keeps coming. But the fact that these big moves are being made before Trump is even sworn in, it shows so much of the American government. I think they have disdain for the so-called democracy they claim to protect.
They do disdain it. What they're protecting is an empire that has been built since the end of World War II, 850 military installations around the world. I'll bet you Trump builds more.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, we'll see. I've been watching more of Hegseth, and he's a mixed bag. I would say that I think, is not just in favor of getting rid of, say, woke generals, but it does seem like there might be a big old, like the same way Elon and Vivek are going to try to take on a lot of the administrative state. I have a feeling that might be coming for the Pentagon, too, to a certain degree. We're way too top-heavy with our organization.
Well, the Pentagon is so bloated. I mean, you've heard me quote this statistic. It's mind-boggling. The U.S. spends more on defense than the next 10 countries combined, even though China has a bigger military, a bigger army, and a bigger navy.
And they just failed another audit, right?
Correct.
Trillions unaccountable.
They can't find billions a year. Nobody seems to know where it goes.
Now, before you get out of here, well, first, your take of, again, the intention to nominate, if we're being technical here, but Matt Gaetz being nominated to be Attorney General. And how do you think that's going to go, number one? Especially, I know you know some of the senators up there have been there a while. But number two, I want to get into this whole idea of what is a recess appointment. Like, why is this even being talked about? Is it constitutional? But first, your reaction kind of to Matt Gaetz being nominated for this position.
I don't think he's qualified to be Attorney General of the United States. And I don't think Donald Trump is looking for a qualified Attorney General. He's looking for a clerk who will execute his will in grand schemes. Like these are the areas that I want the law enforced, and in narrow schemes, this is the person I want prosecuted. The job of the Attorney General is to be a very, very serious thinker on matters of justice. That's not what Donald Trump is looking for. Will Matt Gaetz be confirmed? I don't think so. I think too many senators who are loyal to Trump are more loyal to their own seats in the Senate, and they don't want to be associated with confirming someone who has the background that he does. And once the stuff about him comes out, and it probably will, you'll start to see Republicans jump away like flies.
Now, what if they try to move towards this whole recess appointment idea? What is that in the first place?
Recess appointment is constitutional. However, he probably couldn't get paid as Attorney General. He would be the acting Attorney General. So the Supreme Court has said that both the House and the Senate, under the Constitution, would have to not meet for 10 consecutive days. And on the 11th day, the president could appoint a federal judge, a member of the Supreme Court, a member of his cabinet. In the case of a judge, it wouldn't be a lifetime appointment. It would only go until the end of the next Congress, so 4 years later. In the case of a cabinet member, which is not a lifetime appointment, it would go until the president fired him or until the end of the next Congress, which is 4 years later. So as odd as this is, Trump is not making it up. There was a time when Supreme Court justices were routinely appointed as recess appointments, and then they had their confirmation hearings and the vote on them after they were already on the court. As bizarre as that sounds by the modern to the modern ear, that was done as recently as in the Eisenhower era. Justice William Brennan was put on the court the very same day that Eisenhower signed the documents. They didn't even have a public confirmation hearing and had the vote, and he was confirmed for life.
Well, fascinating times we're living through, and it is, I think, a mix of hope as ideas. I know you and I both love, ideals we both love are getting out there to millions and millions of more people and minds. But then you see these institutions, especially these governments of the world, man, they're holding on for dear life. So again, what a fascinating time to be alive, at least.
Absolutely, Joey. It's a fascinating time to be on your show. Thank you very much.
Folks, y'all check out Judging Freedom. I tend to watch on YouTube. Appreciate it, Judge. God bless her.
All the best, my man.
Again, folks, that is Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time. Eddie Bader and Byron Sheehy are here, and Eddie already has the dog in his lap. Roxy is here.
She's about to go through the window, so I thought I'd just hold her for a minute.
How does the rain get her all worked up?
No, just a truck ride. You know, she ain't into that. We had to stop a couple times. That's that picture I sent you.
Yeah, when I told, you were asking, is it all right? When I told Byron he's going to bring a dog, you're like,
oh, yeah.
You love dogs?
Yeah, very good.
She's great. Everybody loves Roxy. She just, like, now she's curious, and, you know, she's 100 pounds of curiosity roaming around
got to
the studio
sniff. Sniff every which way.
Yeah.
She needs some love.
And then I told her we'd be on YouTube, and that's why we had to pull over, and she had to take care of it. She got a little nervous
ready.
stomach there. Yeah.
Now, there's just so much that we could get to today. But first, the Matt Gaetz stuff. I find that I think most people aren't buying the hit jobs anymore. For instance, it does look like it's being reported a hacker has gained access to the ethics probe, the ethics investigation into Matt Gaetz, and some of the deposition taken, which of course will be selectively leaked in the most damning light. But does this stuff still work?
In his case, I think it will.
You do? You think it's going to be that bad?
Yeah. I don't know if we're looking at the same source right now, but what I'm looking at, apparently one of the depositions was with a minor. So if there's any smoke there, I think the judge is right. You will see Republicans running away from this guy.
I think they're already looking for answers to say no anyway.
I mean, he needs to be held accountable for that haircut at least.
This is the New York Times here. An unidentified hacker has gained access to a computer file shared in a secure link among lawyers whose clients have given damaging testimony related to Matt Gaetz, the former Florida congressman who is President-elect Donald Trump's choice to be Attorney General. Of course, this makes it on the front pages of the New York Times. This is, again, what I'm saying. This still work? Why do we believe it?
I think it's the target.
The file of 24 exhibits is said to include sworn testimony by a woman that she had sex with Mr. Gaetz in 2017 when she was 17. Reminds me of this Stevie Nicks song.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them out there. Warrant.
Yeah,
there's a few.
There's a few of those. Rock and roll, man. Those dirty dogs. As well as corroborating testimony by a second woman who said she witnessed the encounter. Wait, okay. So he had sex with me when I was underage, and another lady watched. Why wasn't he charged with statutory rape, if this is true?
Would that not have to be something that was prosecuted or charged at the time?
Yeah, he was being investigated, though.
I mean,
this.
But would he not have to have been charged at that point?
I don't know what the statute of limitations is on something like that. But this was 2017, so what, 4 years ago?
So now
or 7 years ago?
Should have been more important then, I think, than now. But hey, here's a chance to ruin somebody. And let's not forget, people do lie. On both sides of this, people do lie.
but the files were downloaded by a person using the name Alton Beasley, Bezley, at 1:23 p.m. on Monday, according to the source talking to the New York Times, who's not authorized to speak publicly, but they are. A lawyer connected to the case sent an email to the address associated with this alias, only to be informed in an automated reply that the recipient does not exist.
Shot.
The material does not appear to have been made public by the hacker.
Not yet.
Okay, then so who's the frickin' hacker? Is this the FBI? Is this the intelligence
They
agencies?
said it appears to be made public yet, right?
Right.
So they're sitting on it. They just haven't really
They're
done
shopping
much.
it more than likely.
Yeah, they haven't done much with it.
The documents include information that is under seal with the Justice Department, which investigated Mr. Gaetz but did not file charges. So yeah, he was literally investigated by the DOJ. If these allegations are true, why didn't they charge him with statutory rape?
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't have plenty of motivation to get this guy.
Exactly.
And it's also, he's been investigated by the House Committee on Ethics, which was completed its own inquiry into the former congressman. The ethics panel's members are scheduled to meet on Wednesday to decide on whether to vote to release material it has gathered. Well, it's now like a moot point if it's been hacked.
Yeah. Well, also, did anybody get paid out on this?
You know they did.
I mean, as far as the supposed victim?
Oh, wait. But the hack wasn't of the House investigation.
Oh.
The hack trove of documents stems from an altogether different source, a civil suit being pursued by a friend of Mr. Gaetz, Christopher Dorworth, a Florida businessman. Mr. Dorworth filed the suit against both the woman who says she had sex with Mr. Gaetz when she was a minor and Joel Greenberg, an erstwhile ally of Mr. Gaetz, who is serving an 11-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to federal sex trafficking charges involving the woman.
I see.
Mr. Dorworth has claimed that he was defamed by Mr. Greenberg and the woman, both of whom had told federal authorities that Mr. Dorworth hosted parties where he, they, Mr. Gaetz, and others took drugs and openly had sex. In mustering their defense, lawyers for Mr. Greenberg and the woman have solicited sworn statements from others who they say were witnesses. The 24 exhibits were attached to a motion prepared by lawyers for Mr. Greenberg and the woman in response to Mr. Dorworth's suit. So a guy's suing, saying this is not true, you defame me by bringing up all these, like, Diddy parties. Mm-hmm. And that's what's now been hacked, just one aspect of the depositions, and that's saying they did. And a bunch of folks witnessed it.
Look, man, it's like I told you off the air. This guy served in the Florida State Legislature for a while, and there's been strong scuttlebutt and comment amongst the politicos down there that this is not new. I mean, this isn't something that's just happened since he got elected, up in D.C. Some of these allegations go back a lot farther than...
But also, like, how many enemies has this guy made?
Right.
Oh, tons.
Right. And so that's probably his enemies talking.
They do that,
I'm surprised somebody actually identified themselves as a friend of his.
I guess so.
Oh, wow. Well, and also Pete Hegseth has been accused of something, too.
Having a bad tattoo.
No, he was accused of rape.
Oh, well, conflicting articles there.
Yeah, no, and his attorney said, no, this was a non-disclosure agreement for a consensual affair that now apparently is public.
Paid.
Yeah, so because you paid, then you're a rapist or something to that. It's just like, it'd be one thing if we're just talking about these things, like it comes up about somebody, that's not going for a big position. It's like, it's just in the news.
Yeah, I didn't mean that she got paid the first time. I meant she got paid the second time.
Oh, the second time, too. Yeah, I know. It's just, it's awfully convenient. And I'm at a point where I'm like, does this stuff still work? This sort of clearly contrived, orchestrated pressure game to smear somebody into, bowing out.
Well, I mean, he's not going to bow out.
Yeah, Gaetz ain't.
No.
He's shameless.
I told someone earlier, another Politico, I was like, man, whenever the hearing pops up for this, I'm popping my popcorn and sitting down and watching C-SPAN like it's prime time.
Yeah, it should be something to behold. What's up?
How much does the Senate
What?
Dead air.
We got dead air? Well, they all should be watching online at any
Yeah.
point.
get our tech support in here?
I can hear you, Paul.
Anyway, well, I guess we're not terrestrially broadcasting.
I don't think online either.
What?
Just got this.
See?
It looks like it's running just fine here for me on my end. Roxy, give him an extra lick.
Getting any comments?
Yeah, we got a few. Yeah, the stream's working. Folks are right saying live on X just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, it must be our signal or tower got hit.
Going back to like sort of the confirmation on him, how much of the Senate, or do you think that the Senate flexes further showing like, hey, we are our own body, we're not going to bow down to Trump?
That's a good question. I mean, it just, how much you want to push back?
Better question might be, how much smoke is gonna have to be around this guy before Republican, the rank and file conservative or established conservatives?
Because the way I'm thinking of it is, it's not like you're going to move. I guess what, they'll have a 53 seat majority.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're going to. Everybody's looking at the dog. It's not. But so you can lose 3 Republicans and JD Vance could be a tie vote, a tie-breaking vote. So you can lose 3. And let's just say Susan Collins, Murkowski, those 2 have already come out and said, oh, I don't know.
The number I saw yesterday was 9. 9 Republicans are potentially going to block him.
Romney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can go through the list. I mean, it's...
But they all voted for Merrick Garland, right?
The same old, same old.
Wow. Yeah, well, then here's the deal. There'll be some folks like Romney who are like, I'm already dead to Trump and the Trump world, so what do I got to lose?
I mean, some people have definitely drawn a line, and there's no getting back in the good graces of the president.
It's just going to be interesting to see who actually has the political capital to spend. Now, some folks, as we just laid out, have nothing to lose. They're kind of like, yeah, whatever. But then the folks that want to play this game long term, say like the newly elected majority leader, Mr. Thune or Senator Thune, he would probably like to be majority leader for a while, given how young he is. And if you get on the wrong side of Trump, he can make your life pretty much hell.
Man, I mean, this stuff's so nasty. Beasley, whoever it was that, the account that was set up.
Yeah, that leaked this.
Wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility that it's someone associated with Thune's operation.
Yeah, who knows?
But Thune, vote in support.
Yeah, you do have to wonder who's the hacker. Because they really don't see. And the more they're like, no, we can't. I don't believe for a second that you guys are against this guy because of all these allegations. I don't believe that for a second, you dirty dogs. We all know half of y'all.
That's the point.
Deserve a spanking in public, but you would like it too much, so we're not going to do that. We all know. So, no, you don't want Matt Gaetz because Matt Gaetz will be a wrecking ball at the DOJ. Well, that's what you want, the status quo.
Well, why was Sessions no longer AG? Because
the Kislyak screw job?
Because he wouldn't do exactly what the president wanted him to, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's got his guy this time.
Well, it's also Jeff got caught, I think, flat-footed.
Yeah.
And I didn't make any friend with Jeff Sessions, who I do respect, but he always said I was just following the DOJ rules when I recused myself from the whole Russia probe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you notice the timeline of that, the day before, he's there for a few weeks as the attorney general. After he's sworn in, he goes through the hearings, he's the attorney general. And he's there for a few weeks, and there's no recusal. And then the Washington Post drops a big expose article that he met with the Russian ambassador Kislyak in his office. God knows what they talked about. And the next day, Jeff Sessions comes out, recuses himself from the Russia probe, which thus sets up the special counsel being appointed. So he recuses himself, citing the DOJ rules. Well, did you all of a sudden get studied up on the rules after this hit piece is dropped on you? So, no, I don't think it's, he didn't do what Trump said. I think Jeff Sessions didn't defend Trump or himself properly. He should have had a backbone and said, you know what, screw the Washington Post. This is not true, and I'm going to double down and look into what y'all are actually accusing the guy who just appointed me. What are you actually accusing him of doing?
So it's just soft. What you're saying.
In that moment, he was. In that moment, he was big time.
Well, this
And
guy's,
I'm sure I don't have all the information,
well, this guy's
but
not.
that's publicly available. I thought it was not a good look. And this guy is not. You're right.
He has a reputation of being hard.
Yes, he goes hard in the paint. 272-9228. Are we back on the air, like actually broadcasting? Or?
I don't know. I see Jay, so I'm going with no.
He says online's good, but over the air you're not.
That's unfortunate.
Can't have nothing.
I know. You try, and it just, well, it's probably something to do with storms or I don't know.
So
Water
do we
falling
have to
from the sky.
Hear the FCC rules?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
You have them in front of you?
Because as soon as we start dropping F-bombs, then that's when it'll go back over the air. All right?
Sorry, folks.
It's very true.
Come on. Don't flirt.
Very true, Joe.
Don't tempt fate that way, guys. Okay.
Very good point.
So the Matt Gaetz thing is going to be juicy. And that is the latest that the hacking is afoot, and we'll see how the House Ethics Committee actually...
Think they got the stones to stick with him and make sure that... I mean, he's Trump's boy here, right? If it fails with him, then every other one that comes behind him that's elected, they're going to go after too.
All right, they get the momentum going. They're like, oh, we got a scalp. Let's get another scalp.
See, I think that the trade-off would be he'll be the sacrificial lamb.
We'll let the others go.
Possibly.
Let us have him.
Yeah.
Give us him.
Now, this is Matt Gaetz talking to The Blaze, and he's sort of talking about the whole House ethics investigation. Let's tune into this.
Congressman Gaetz offered to take us on a tour.
So one of the committees where people have a lot of information is the Appropriations Committee, because they can view almost any vector of government funding. And so, this is Mr. Rutherford's office. He's on the Ethics Committee and the Appropriations Committee. 152 stock trades. Stocks go through the roof. And, actually bought Raytheon stock.
I mean, why don't they like this guy?
Because he's not their stock advisor.
No, because it's such an unspoken rule. You don't go around naming somebody's name and all the dirty laundry they have just to the media. Like, I've learned this with the Alabama legislature. They're as thick as thieves, and you better believe they're that way in Congress.
Yeah.
Like, they'll say all sorts of nasty, your wife's ugly, all this stuff, but like the actual deals and sort of what they have in terms of positions of power and leverage, they do not like that being made public.
No.
Why don't they like this guy, though? I mean, I think the people love him for
The
it.
day that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if every American could make money off of war.
Yeah, setting aside the whole shame and ethics questions. How many more on our hit list here?
There are a few more. I wish there were fewer on the hit list. I wish we could only stop at one or two offices, but as it turns out, energy is a sector that sees a lot of congressional stock trading.
Sure.
And we have members who are on the Energy Subcommittee of Appropriations, like Michael Guest, chairman of the Ethics Committee, and he's traded somewhere between tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in energy stocks. He's been buying online gaming stocks and just making a killing on
In
them.
this clip, he's calling out the chairman of the House Ethics Committee.
Nice.
See, and this is what I mean. If you can get the story out there on new media of like, this is clearly them being pissed at Matt Gaetz for not playing ball.
Yeah, but I mean, how much of this is, why did he do this? I mean, really, is this news? I mean, we all know this.
Right,
Yeah,
but it's
one thing to know it, but it's another thing for it to be put in your face.
Yes.
Glass houses, man. I mean,
Sure.
Let's keep going.
So you would think that the people that were on the ethics committee would be your best allies in this fight, but indeed they're some of the most prolific traders. And not only trading, but in the case of Mr. Guest, trading in an area where he has access to energy information more so than almost any other American.
And no indication that he wants to maybe slow down, pump the brakes, recognize that there might be some appearance of impropriety here?
It seems as though the pace is only accelerating.
All right.
What was the Kelly Loeffler excuse when she got called out for something similar? It was all my trading's done by an advisor that does it on its own. And
Well, when I've asked Tuberville straight up to his face, he's like, "It's in a."
I have a guy.
Yeah, and they handle it. I don't tell him. I don't talk to him.
I want to know what the name of that firm is. I bet you there might be like one or two that they all use.
Yeah,
I would think so. It'd be a clearinghouse of sorts, yeah.
Well, and I think here's what's the deal. It's Tuberville, and I believe Tuberville. I don't think he does talk to that guy. But I think somebody on, say, the committee, no, not even his team.
Yeah.
Just committee staff talks to that guy.
They probably have lunch.
Yeah. So it's not even somebody who directly works for you. It's just that staff that's there because you're on that committee. Yeah, I think that's the sort of stuff that goes on.
After yesterday's guest and getting to the bottom of that, yeah, I could see exactly what you're saying, and yes, that would no doubt in my mind what's happening.
So I've been trying to hold off to hit a break because I'd like these ads to go out over there, but we do probably need to hit a break here. Before I do, what did you think, Byron, of the whole Kent Davis story, that he was able to tell his own story, his side of it at length? And, you know, when I've talked to other people off air about this, who saw the interview or did their own reading about this, everybody's kind of like, why did they do this to this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what? And it seems the ethics complaint was the trigger here, where he crossed some wire and tripped some wire he shouldn't have.
By law.
Yeah,
By
which
law,
he
by
was
the way.
required to do.
I mean, just 30,000 foot without knowing the details. I mean, 99 out of 100 questions is money. I mean, if there's all this funding that's being distributed one way or the other, having someone there in any head kind of directing traffic that can help facilitate where that money goes or set certain parameters is probably a power grab for money.
Yeah, it seemed like all that had been settled, though. Like, he was aghast when the head of mental health here in the state goes, "Oh, wait, we're terminating our agreement, and we're not going to be able to distribute these grant funds to all these recipients that had already been promised." He scrambles, gets more money and approved by the legislature, and still gets that money out the door through an office, I believe, at Troy University. And so he thinks, oh, it's settled. Like, that's weird that they just pulled out all of a sudden, and they had months to say that if they had any problems.
Yeah.
They weren't much of a partner, but at least we saw the issue. Woo! And then it seems like after the ethics complaint, which even the ethics commission themselves said, acknowledged, thank you for understanding your obligations under the law to report this. So something he had a duty to report is what he's being punished for?
I think
that's what it seems like to me.
Well, I think he's being punished for something that he didn't do.
Right.
Or even have a hand in. He got punished for not being their guy. I mean, to me, the parallels between the deep state in DC and the bureaucrats up there and what we have here in Montgomery, I mean, per capita, there's more swamp acreage here in Montgomery than in DC.
Yeah.
Well, and look how they went after him with the police and all, to his house.
Oh,
That's very personal.
Well, and it's like I'm at
Unnecessary
this 1819 News event on Friday night, and people are like, well, I want to set you up. You still single? I want to set you up. And I'm going to be like, bring ID. Bring ID. You ain't Matt Gaetz and me.
I don't think you had that to worry about. You're a little old.
Hey, you want to go to this bathroom, take some drugs with me? No, I'm good. I've cleaned up my act.
It's not college.
Right. Yeah. It's not last year. It's not a month ago.
Thank you.
What do you think? This is yesterday? I'm a different man now. I'm not getting caught by you.
Nope. Not me.
272-9228. And how about this? We'll hit a break.
All right.
I don't know if it's going to go out over here, but we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
We are live at Ask Telemarketing on Carmichael Road. We'll be here until 12:30. We hope you'll come by and make a donation for our annual holiday food drive. It is benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. Now, we're collecting non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice, anything that's non-perishable. We'd love to have it. If you can come by and donate while we're here, that's great. If not, well, come by anytime Ask is open, make a donation. Please, if you can, come by Ask Telemarketing anytime they are open and make a donation to the Holiday Food Bank. Again, non-perishable food items, canned goods, pasta, rice, anything that you have in your pantry you can spare for the holiday season. It will really help out the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's our annual holiday food drive. I'm Wendell J. for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
ABC Wednesday, country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards. Kicks off with this year's must-see collaboration, Post Malone featuring Chris Stapleton live. With electrifying performances by Lainey Wilson, Shabuzi, Ashley McBride, Luke Bryan, plus Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims. Woo! Luke Bryan, Peyton Manning, and Lainey Wilson host the CMA Awards live Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you think it's safe using all these extension cords?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Actually, too many extension cords can be dangerous. Call Crosby Electric to add new outlets.
Sure is dark in our yard.
Good. We'll sleep better.
Maybe you will.
Crosby Electric does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for peace of mind.
Oh, darn. The vacuum cleaner just tripped a breaker.
Honey, never vacuum while I'm making popcorn.
Tripping breakers can indicate a potential fire hazard. You really should have it checked out by Crosby Electric, serving the river region for almost 50 years.
Sweetheart, are you ever afraid that lightning could damage our electrical system?
Afraid? Oh, come on. No. Maybe we should call Crosby. You know, just give him a call.
Whole house surge protection can protect you and your possessions. For an assessment and for all your electrical needs, call Crosby Electric 272-2085 or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Bring your donations to Ask Telemarketing in Montgomery. Ask Telemarketing. Come work with us. Donate what you can. It's our annual food drive from Blue Water Broadcasting and Ask Telemarketing.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We're loving every raindrop we can get. Periods of rain with locally heavy rainfall amounts, a few thunderstorms. In fact, some storms strong, possibly severe. Breezy today, high 71. The risk of rain will fade out by late tonight. Cold front number 2 arrives by Wednesday afternoon. It becomes breezy, much cooler. Wednesday night's low 39. Will only be in the 50s for a high on Thursday and Friday. We could see mid-30s, maybe a little frosty by Saturday morning. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks. No $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, this is Sharon with the Depot Furniture Gallery. Choosing to advertise with Blue Water was an easy decision to make. Our goal was to increase sales, and they reached the audience that we wanted to connect with. Our sales rep has been great to work with, and we couldn't be happier with the results.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey guys, are you looking for a professional and reliable tree service company in the Montgomery and surrounding areas? Well, check out the folks at Tree Masters. It's a name you know and trust. From pruning to full tree removal, they'll even help you remove your shrubs. They service all of Central Alabama, including Lake Martin and Lake Jordan. Call them for a free quote today at 334-676-3638. That's 334-676-3638. Tree Masters.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So we're still not on terrestrial radio.
Joe,
but we are streaming.
Where do I get one of those cool hats?
The Mises Institute. MISES.org.
.org.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Let's go to Eric the dog. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Hola.
Hola.
How y'all doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I don't know, Joey. I was just going to ask you if you wanted to step into the bathroom over here and do a little Bolivian mouching party.
No. I've learned to get just high on life.
I heard that if you're in the Department of Defense or Department of Justice, you can do things like that and get invited to the White House. It's okay. I'm serious about that. Serious.
Eric, are you
I
in
got
a
a
stall?
serious. Am I in what? In a stall?
Yeah,
I
bathroom
don't think
stall.
so.
Okay.
No, sir. Why, are you interested?
No.
No.
Sounded kind of muffled.
Oh, my bad. How about now?
That's a little better.
All right. I'm on a landline. Imagine that. I have a serious question, or I think it's at least worth questioning. This is twice that they've gone after the appointees for Attorney General for Donald Trump. What information, what powers does he have that would make them especially worried that no other Attorney General has decided to exercise in the past that they're so worried about? Because this is clearly they are worried about somebody that has Donald Trump's back being in that position.
Yeah, I think that is the deeper issue here. They don't want somebody who's actually going to challenge the status quo, and they're going to use everything they can to take out the most threatening potential appointees, and Gaetz is top of the list.
Is this like a CYA operation?
No, this is to get the scalps you can get. Like, say, we're not going to be pushovers, Trump. We're going to still try to use all our same old dirty tricks. And we'll see how effective they are. But they're not going to take any of this line down. They don't care how big Trump won in November.
I think they kind of see this guy as a wild dog, too. And they don't want him off the leash.
Right.
Yeah, which is precisely why I want him off the leash. I just want some people that are running rampant through there, and I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you think about it. We're going to go by the letter of the law. We have our guidelines. They're just, a little wider than the guidelines you'd like us to adhere to.
But, I mean,
we'll go in through doors.
That's part of the concern against him is, will he follow the letter of the law?
Seriously, like they do? Or they're scared that he's going to act like they act?
Man, I mean, as a Republican, we can't sit here and say we're going to do it because Democrats did it. I mean, we have a higher standard.
Well, yeah, but if you're getting punched in the kidneys and the ref ain't saying nothing, apparently it's legal, right? You got to play by, I get where you're going, Byron, but you had to play by the rules that are being judged. You can't play by the rules that you want the other guy to play by while he's not playing by.
Well, and also you don't have to go after particular people. You don't have to do these sorts of things. What you do is you clean house and you let sunshine, stream through that building. And I think that's what they're worried about the most, that this guy is a wild dog, that he is going to do what Trump wants, and that they're not going to just go after one or two people that worked at the FBI. No, they are going to expose a lot and have no scruples about it. Like they're going to relish it. He's going to enjoy the way he's walking the halls there, calling out every member of Congress for their stock trades. He's going to do that at the DOJ.
But did he call out every member of Congress? No, he called out a targeted list of people. And having
I'm with you on that one.
Any sort of political bend to this position, which we've seen the Democrats do it, I don't think is necessarily the best look or good practice.
Right. Well, I agree with you on that, but I think probably we want the same thing. I just let the rules apply evenly. Like somebody who doesn't know the difference between the parties and allegiances and all that, just here's the laws, apply them evenly. You run across person A, they get treated just like person B, C, D, on down the line, as far as what's going on. But I mean, these guys and their stock trades, give me a break. Show me somebody who went into Congress and came out poor for the experience, regardless of their performance.
There's not one.
Correct.
Well, what about Madison Cawthorn?
Well, actually, I don't think so.
You think he made money after being
speaking?
Oh yeah, there you go. Inspirational story, that kid.
Maybe I don't. Who's he? What's he do? What's he?
He was the young guy who won Congress, I think, in North Carolina, and he was wheelchair ridden.
Got invited to some off-campus parties.
And he talked about that, how he got invited to these parties. And then I think that's after he started talking about it publicly, got a little too big for his britches. They're like, oh, you've been a dirty dog, and we're going to let the world know.
No leashes. I'm for Trump and no leashes. Just keep him in the letters of the law or the spirit of the law. I'm not smart enough to know all that. I know this. Looking at the outside, I see there's a dirty glass. It's dirty on both sides, and I want it clean.
Fair enough.
I don't really care how it's used. I just want it clean and intact.
Here. Appreciate it, Eric.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
272-9228. Well, let's go to a guy I hadn't talked to in ages. Let's go to Kelso from Cali. Hey, Kelso, how you doing?
How's it going, Joey? Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
Man, it's good to hear your voice. How's life?
Oh, same, brother. I love your show. I love you boys. I've been lurking for a while, doing my own thing, and the Gaetz, the whole Trump thing has just sparked something. I think, as you probably know, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm sort of politically homeless, but I am super excited about the prospects of him shaking things up, and the Gaetz thing just came out for me. It came out of nowhere, and I'm unironically hoping Trump uses all of his political capital to force Gaetz down their throat, because that is going to be fun.
See, and I think that is the mood of so many people who supported Trump. They're not thinking about the institutions and all. They're like, no, we wanted a wrecking ball, and Matt Gaetz is a big part of that wrecking ball.
Are there not other wrecking balls that could do the same thing?
Not like Matt Gaetz. Not like look like a Batman villain.
Maybe not with the flair, but I mean, Mike Lee's still out there, right?
Yeah, Mike Lee's good. I mean,
mean,
he's too Mormon, you know.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
see, out Southern California and the People's Republic of California, where the men all apply lotion, and when it dips under 60 degrees, we claim it's freezing. I am, by definition, a metrosexual. They have these people out here with the Matt Gaetz thing. I mean, I think I saw 300 progressives' heads explode simultaneously when that announcement was made, and it warms my heart to such a degree to see these people come unglued. I mean, I want more of this. I'm addicted to it.
Well, it's not only exploding progressives' heads, it's also exploding, say, like the congressman from California, Kevin McCarthy's head.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Which is wonderful. And Shifty Shift, who's now going to be my senator, yeah, he's going crazy. It's beautiful. It's and just one last point, because I know you got other people here. I think if Trump doesn't go to the mat for well, ironically, for Gaetz, I think it shows a real weakness, because Trump has the wind of, I mean, I know you know all this, but just to restate it.
Yeah.
He has the Senate by 4. He has the House by not a great margin, but a comfortable one. He's got the Supreme Court. He's got the popular vote. He has the Electoral College. If he can't get Gaetz across, I think that is a hugely, bigly, my grammar's horrible, terrible sign for the next 4, or at least the next 2 years, but the next 4 years. Gaetz is the canary in the mine shaft. As go Gaetz, as goes the Trump admin, I believe.
Yep. Well said.
Really?
Well said. I appreciate the call, man. Great hearing your voice. Call again anytime.
The stakes are that high.
And you guys get out there, subscribe to Joey's show, a retweet, re-X, whatever the heck we're calling it now.
Please do.
Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Facebook. This is the show. The political power of the United States is in Montgomery, Alabama. I said it.
That's a lot. You're putting on my shoulders. You're scaring me, man. Appreciate it. Really do, dude.
So not Rick Scott, Matt Gaetz. That's where we're going to plant our flag.
Now, the Rick Scott thing he never had a chance. It was a weird red line. You pointed that out when all that was going on with all the pressure on Senator Brett. It was an odd, thing.
I was pretty close on that.
No, you're right. No, and also, it was like an easy thing for her to do. It's like, yeah, I'll vote for him. He's not going to win, but sure.
Yeah.
Now we're on the second ballot. That was a weird red line. No, I think I like his point that Gaetz is sort of the canary in the coal mine for this. Like how much, I think it's a nice test, I'll put it that way, of how much power does Trump actually have going into that town.
I think we're going to see the Senate further submit themselves as being an independent body.
I'm fine with that.
Well, I think some more hacking needs to be done then. I'm not going to do it.
I think
that's illegal.
It's going to happen.
Is it?
Representative
You
McCarthy.
go to jail for that and stuff now?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Sure.
No, you got to work for the feds.
Oh.
If you want to. Right. And then they'll just blame it on the Russians.
Seems to be working so far.
Right. Anyway, are we still off the air terrestrially?
My understanding, yeah.
Dadgummit.
Joe, did you see, not to hijack it, but did you see where Mike Lee said that he wouldn't confirm Casey if he's continues to challenge?
Relying on illegal votes, yes. I saw that. I thought that was pretty based by Mike Lee. And ever since he changed his name on X to Based Mike Lee, I'm like, it really is based. Yeah. It's something people say.
The kids?
Oh,
Yeah. Or no, they're not more like older millennials who need to stop calling themselves I'm a fur daddy. It's like you need to have actual children.
No idea what you're talking about. I'm kind of glad I don't.
You're a fur
You know those
daddy.
people that are you have a son, you raised a son, but imagine you're I'm a dad to that dog right there. You know those people I'm talking about.
Well, if it's just her and I do tell her Daddy loves her.
And it's true, Roxy. It's true. We're just
That's
laughing.
only when it's her and I.
All right, let's go to Flower Child. Hey, Flower Child.
Hey, guys. I just loved your last two callers. They're just wonderful. If who would he pick if he couldn't get Gaetz across there?
Who's number 2?
I'm going Lee.
Mike Lee?
Yeah. He was my first choice. I'm going to go with him again.
Well, I would, whoever, if he has to choose a different one, I would make sure that they have a gentleman's agreement that Matt Gaetz was deputy AG. I mean, you know.
And the idea, too, is if they reject Gaetz, this might actually play out. They reject Gaetz. The Senate says we're independent, like you're saying, Byron. Well, Ron DeSantis just appoints him to the United States Senate.
Yeah. There you go. He's going to come out a quote unquote winner from all this,
right?
Politically,
yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be the primrose path.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And Trump could take this issue to the people that voted for him and say, "Listen, y'all." He tried when I first got in. They tried to get rid of Sessions, and look what they did to Kavanaugh. Is that the Supreme Court? The guy's name? Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, we don't have to draw a line anymore. Obama drew his red line and he stepped over it. So let's step over it as far as I'm concerned. And the next thing I would suggest is Trump go out and say, well, the DOJ Biden's DOJ found Matt Gaetz not guilty of any of the issues. I'd ask the Senate to televise and have Merrick Garland come and testify to that fact that they didn't find anything wrong.
Right. That's where I'm wondering if the Garland DOJ didn't bring any charges against this guy.
And if there were anything, you know,
if you're selectively leaking certain damning so-called depositions, like in testimony, that's, if people are going to give into that, they deserve everything they're going to get.
Yeah.
Well, if they're going to go behind and start leaking, you know, and innuendos and everything like that, bring the evidence, you know.
Bring the receipts.
From your own DOJ that found him innocent. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, don't, like I said, the other caller said, don't kowtow to those people
right
now. You got to stand strong is all I got to say. And, Joey, where was that Blaze thing on? I can't find it.
It was, there's a short portion of it on Real Clear Politics, their video section. And if you click continue to watch on X, it's interview, Walk and Talk the Blaze did with him in April of 2024.
Uh-huh. Well, I tried to find it, and if you look up any sort of interview with Matt Gaetz, it's nothing but the ethics thing.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
But that would be some of my solutions, you know, go around. If I told somebody, if if Barack Obama could have Eric Holder as a wingman, Trump can have his wingman too.
Sure.
Bye.
Later. Man, I'm hearing from some of my favorite people. We don't even have a radio signal.
We know who the viewers are online now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we've got a bunch of them, too. It's a good day on YouTube and on X.
People that listen on the radio are calling.
Tell them, go to the stream. It's working. I just put it out on Facebook. You can go to the stream.
It's working.
Get him a couple of those little things that the people on the runways have, directing traffic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good idea. But then I get, I'm driving. So turn your phone over. You don't have to watch it on YouTube. You can turn your phone over and turn up the volume.
Yeah, you don't have to watch. Anyway, we got to hit this break.
Yeah.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. In Georgia, prosecutors expected to wrap up their case in the trial against a man accused of killing nursing student Laken Riley. Jose Ibarra, in the country illegally, is charged with murder and other crimes in Riley's death in February. He waived his right to a jury trial, meaning the case will be decided by a judge alone. The case could go to the judge by the end of the day. A federal appeals court says it will let the nation's third execution with nitrogen gas go forward this week. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed on Monday a lower court's decision to let Kerry Dale Grayson's execution proceed on Thursday night in Alabama. He was convicted of the 1994 killing of Vicky DeBlue. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 110 points, the Nasdaq up 100. This is SRN News.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, Please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-615-7541 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-615-7541. That's 800-615-7541. Again, 800-615-7541.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We're loving every raindrop we can get. Periods of rain with locally heavy rainfall amounts, a few thunderstorms. In fact, some storms strong, possibly severe. Breezy today, high 71. The risk of rain will fade out by late tonight. Cold front number 2 arrives by Wednesday afternoon. It becomes breezy, much cooler. Wednesday night's low 39. Will only be in the 50s for a high on Thursday and Friday. We could see mid-30s, maybe a little frosty by Saturday morning. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. The emergency missing child alert for 15-year-old Montgomery resident Madison Kemp Gary has been canceled. Madison was found safe more than 1,000 miles from home in New York City. It's not yet clear how the teenager made it to New York or for what reason. Law enforcement officials have not released any additional details. Madison had been missing since November 9th. The discovery of a man's body in Montgomery has been ruled a homicide. Police were called to the 3000 block of Rosa Parks Avenue in reference to a deceased person Saturday morning. The victim has been identified as 27-year-old Jemiah Bailey. Police are waiting for autopsy results to determine the cause of death. A total of 16 football players from Alabama State University and Jackson State have been suspended after a wild post-game fight on Saturday in Montgomery. SWAC officials announced the one-game suspensions as well as fines for both schools on Monday. Alabama State suspended 3 players for the rest of the season. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is the Trump country.
We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to a show where we're not actually on the radio at the moment, still. But if you know and follow us online, we're still going strong.
Yeah.
Appreciate the 300 or so of you that are watching for doing so online. You just gonna manhandle that mic?
It's a little limp.
Work it, baby.
And joining us now, well, it's been a while.
It has been.
Madeline Cannon, how you doing today, Madeline?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
You excited for the holidays?
You know she is. I can see the whole family Christmas coming together. Perfect
Thanksgiving
kind of thing.
too.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Well, my decorating is a bit modified this year because I have 2 toddlers, so we have bare trees this year. No ornaments.
Smart.
Can't you go like higher? Just out of reach?
Probably, but I would rather have no ornaments than half ornaments.
Yeah, don't tempt them to climb.
Well, they're going to.
Right.
She's got boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no stopping them.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's fun. That's Christmas is more fun with little kids.
That's right.
So, how's it going there at Alabama Home Mortgage?
Good. We're ready to make mortgages great again.
Excellent.
All right.
Yes, yes. So just kind of a rate update. A lot of people want to know, well, what are rates doing since the election?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's been a lot of excitement on the market. The stock market's been really rallying. And as the stock market does well, typically interest rates go up. So the reason those are correlated is because if people are excited about the stock market, they're taking money out of the bond market, and the bond market is what drives down interest rates. So right now we've seen a little bit of an uptick in the mortgage rates just simply because everybody's excited. There's a lot of consumer confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I think that is a temporary thing. I think once the inauguration takes place in January, the Trump administration has an opportunity to start making changes, and we see what the economic policies are going to be, then we'll start seeing the rates come back down in a positive way.
Beautiful. And we've been telling folks, like, if you've been kind of waiting for the election, say you're on the fence to refinance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't sit here and wait. Like, call y'all like right now.
Yeah.
And actually, it's worth having a plan and a conversation for when, like, okay, here's your goals. Here's probably the right time frame to actually pull that off.
Right. There are a lot of people who could benefit from a refinance right now. If this is not the opportunity for you, then we'll say, hey, let's check back in 3 to 6 months.
Right.
So there's no harm, no foul. There's no cost or obligation for us to take a look at it and provide you with a mortgage proposal.
There you go. And it's also like, I love the feeling, like, because so much of this is, yes, you got to follow the number. You got to know what's right for you, especially you veterans out there. You'll need to call Alabama Home Mortgage, see what deals they can get you through the VA home loan programs. But it does seem since the election, there is a, beyond the numbers, a feeling of like, we're back, baby.
That's right.
And that makes people a little more willing to get out there and buy homes and just reinvest in themselves.
Yeah, especially on the purchase side. So inventory's been low for a long time, but now we're starting to see people come off the fence, want to list their homes. Now, going into the holidays, that's typically a slow time for listings, just simply because nobody wants to, deal with people in and out of their home during the holiday season. Right. But I do anticipate there to be a big boom come spring.
Beautiful.
So I would say it's not too soon to go ahead and get pre-approved so that you already have your numbers. You're ready to go whenever the time is right.
And y'all still have like some of the best, like, say with the refinance turnaround times.
Yes. Our average turn time is still less than 2 weeks.
Y'all have like some of the lowest, if not the lowest closing costs in the area.
We try to have the lowest. Absolutely. So if somebody says they can beat us, we always encourage you to bring a loan estimate from that institution and we'll do our best to beat it.
It's just like what y'all just do all this stuff so well. It's easy to sell for me.
Well, thank you. We try to be the best.
Yeah.
And soon we'll have Joey in there. I promise you.
I'm ready, Joey.
I've only been trying this for
2025, the year Joey buys a home.
Ooh.
This is the longest lead I've ever worked in my life.
Yeah. That's what this started with. I'll advertise to that
That's a
kid
young
and see
guy.
maybe I
He's
get
going to buy a house here pretty soon.
Yeah.
As he's managed to weasel out of even renting.
Swing and a miss.
And we're still together.
It's like, Joey, you keep renting. That's not wise. You're like, you know what? You're right. I'll stop renting. How about that?
Right.
Oh man. So in general, how do you feel about kind of the beyond just the mortgage market, like the economy and sort of what you're seeing here locally, people's reaction to the election?
I mean, you can feel a change in the air for sure. I mean, it's just palatable, right? Like everybody just feels like, okay, maybe we can take a deep breath. It's not as heavy as it has been. So I'm excited on a personal level, and then also to see, how our business take off as well.
Yeah, beautiful. So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. 567-4223 still the number?
That's us, 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
There is a difference in mortgage companies, folks. And, of course, NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Pretty good.
So where to next? Because you're welcome to stick around here.
All right, let's have fun.
I got some questions about Christmas.
Okay.
Are you guys going to go cut the tree down, the whole family? And if so, are you going to video it? Because that'd be super cute.
I'm team artificial tree.
That's cool too.
I mean, we normally do one live tree.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we will this year, like I said, because I'm not really getting to decorate them the way.
You guys got the cutest family.
I appreciate you. We are taking pictures at the tree farm.
Okay, that's cool.
As a family.
I'm down with that.
Okay, but I don't know that we'll leave with a tree. But
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Eddie, are you like a real tree all the way type of fellow?
Yeah, but I'll be honest. Until the grandkids came along, we probably did Christmas at our house for 10 years.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that in a while either.
No.
Total humbug. Yeah. But the grandkids have they've kind of got us going again.
Well, I think you were here. Well, I wrote a whole story about my thing.
I did. Yeah, the plug-in tree.
I have it's a little plug-in bubble light.
Yes.
And that's my Christmas decorating.
That's sad. That is so sad.
You don't know the half of it.
Man, I love Christmas.
Me too.
You like Christmas, like Christmas decorations?
Oh, I mean, like as festive as you can be.
Yeah.
Byron, I knew
Christmas
you're good
movies.
people.
Christmas movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too bad you're so tall, because you'd be a good elf with the red and all. You'd be a really good elf, but you're just tall.
Up, buddy.
Dude, you love Christmas. Most guys.
I have to say, it did make me a little happy when I walked in. I saw the tree had been set up here at Blue Water.
It is a good feeling.
I'm like, okay, 'tis the season.
I saw something the other day, like Coca-Cola and the impact that it had on making Christmas what
That's the Santa Claus we know, right? It's because of Coca-Cola, yeah.
I didn't know they were that instrumental in the whole thing.
So you say Christmas movie, what are you throwing on?
Miracle on 34th Street's up there.
Yeah.
Wonderful Life is
Look at him, all the classics.
Always Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
The scene is real subtle where they're having a family dinner and she goes to take a bite and then she just flips it off her fork. You don't really see it the first 2 or 3 times you watch the movie, but that gets me every time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Love Actually is a good one.
Love Actually is great.
Yeah.
I like Elf still.
Do you like Four Christmases?
I do.
It's okay.
Oh, that's.
I don't know
it's
that
okay.
one.
That was last
No,
one.
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Okay, yeah, I don't think
I
I've
go family to family.
The brothers are hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, he wrestles. Well, they attack him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie. Very great movie. Very relatable in certain circumstances.
Trying to think. What's your favorite?
Oh, for a while it was Love Actually, because it's like a dude rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
It was just fun to watch. Like the whole arc of the aging rock star. I'm there for it. It's just hilarious. Then I go back and forth. I have a love-hate relationship with It's a Wonderful Life. How I react to that movie, I think, is a great measure of my psychology in that moment. Because there's some movies, like first few times I saw it, I'm like, this is like, I'm tearing up. This is an incredible movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3rd, 4th year I watch it, I go, man, George Bailey's such a whiny little,
Pottersville, man. You live there and see how you feel.
No, it was even before Pottersville.
It was still Pottersville.
No, it was more like I just wanted him to learn the moral of the story at the beginning. It's like you shouldn't need an angel saving you for you to realize you have a wonderful life, you whiny little.
Well, maybe we all need angels to save us, Joe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm on the opposite of the spectrum there, ladies and germs. Bad Santa.
Bad Santa?
Say that too.
Yeah, that's a good.
I mean,
Bad Santa.
Now, I'll tell you what that everybody acts like they love, but I think they all secretly don't really like, and I'll just be the first one to say is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
I'm not that. It's a generational thing. I've noticed, like, we're both millennials. I don't love that thing
I
either.
won't turn it on. I won't necessarily, fight someone if they want to watch it.
Sure.
But it's not my choice.
Me either.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Bad Santa, though, for you, Eddie?
Yeah.
All the way?
That and Silent Night, Deadly Night.
What?
Yeah.
What is
That
that?
turned me on to that. It's a horror film at Christmas.
No, thank you.
Sorry, Seth Spotlow turned me on to it. You know he's the horror?
Hey, are you a Hallmark movie guy?
No.
That's my
Mom, I
favorite
sleep with
tradition.
danger?
We've kept going on this show now. Even like we've changed time slots. I've gotten more hours. I love reading on air the synopsis of like all the different Hallmark movies coming out this year because they're so bad. It's so bad.
There's supposed to be a new one coming out, like a Hallmark-like movie on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be where these two show up to Christmas and the other one is with their ex. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I did a poor explanation of that. But
So they used to be together,
Yes,
but now they
yes.
both show up to the same Christmas with
somebody new.
Yeah.
Correct.
One's from the country, one's
Let me
from the
guess.
city.
Reminds
They
me of
get
a
back
Gwen
together.
Stefani song.
I don't know.
I bet they get back together and the exes leave together, but like, hey, man.
But it's supposed to star Lindsay Lohan. Talk about
Oh.
a comeback.
Well, and then the turning point is, wait, he called me by my new last name.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, obscure category.
Yeah, I don't
Emmett
know.
Otter. No, that was a Christmas. Emmett Otter Jug Band.
Planes,
Christmas.
Trains, and Automobiles.
That's
Oh,
a really
that's a
good
movie, just in general.
Dutch.
Dutch is great.
Was that Thanksgiving? Or Christmas?
I don't know.
No,
that
it's
one.
kind of a Thanksgiving holiday movie. Dutch was great.
I know Planes,
Ed
Trains,
O'Neill,
and
great.
Automobiles. That's Thanksgiving.
I was going to say Lord of the Rings. Great thing to watch on Thanksgiving.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw
Good
Massacre.
good for all times of the year.
By the way, did you see it's the Two Bears? And again, I don't know if we're back on air.
Two Bears.
Matthew.
Two Bears, one cave.
Oh.
Matthew?
Tom Segura and and Burt Kreischer with Matthew McConaughey.
Tiptoes.
Tiptoes.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a real movie.
Okay, so I've gone on the Netflix and I've probably got it in my stuff. Probably going to watch it.
You know what I'm
it's Amazon
talking
Prime.
about?
It's- oh
my
boy.
God. I'm just gonna find it.
I don't know if Matthew McConaughey really realized that movie got released because he seemed surprised when he was watching the previews of it.
And they just did this on Two Bears, One Cave, where they showed Matthew McConaughey, like, we've shown this trailer to this movie, and everybody's like, when did SNL make this? And it's like, no, it's a real
thing.
Movie. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If I spell it right. Well, actually, here's just the two. Well, the problem with
That's
Two
Tom
Bears.
Segura. That didn't. He lost a lot of weight.
He's lost a lot of weight. He's gotten on the
Shaved his beard.
testosterone.
I don't know. He's starting to look a little too weird now. He's looking a little too. Hate to say it this way, but a little too Hollywood.
He kind of looks like that skateboarder who's got that show on the MTV.
Oh,
Rob Dyrdek.
Rob Dyrdek? Oh, yeah. I miss Robin Big. I didn't like
Yeah, me too.
Marathon in
Big
that
passed
show.
away, but I love.
I know.
I
Well, he's a
love that
big
show,
guy.
man.
That was such a good.
Well, that was one of my favorite reality shows when it came out.
Okay, let's see. Can we find it? Dadgummit, I don't know if I can't find it. I might have to bail out of this because this is the actual clip from Two Bears. So if they drop certain language, I'm gonna have to deal with that in that.
Get it ready?
Let's see. We'll see. Here we go. It's Tiptoes. It came out in 2003. So let's listen in here.
I've enjoyed it so much. Together was perfect. Right? Okay.
I've got to get going. Hey, baby. Hey, sweetie. I love you.
There's one small problem.
Hi, I'm Ross. I'm his brother. We're twins.
Are your parents,
Yeah.
It can tear them apart.
I think you gotta let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, they're dwarfs.
He lost a bet, man. His agent they had a bet on the side, and if he lost, he had to do this movie.
It's a rom-com where the guy's whole family are midgets.
Yeah. He's the only regular size.
Or bring them together.
This is Gary Oldman.
Gary
Oldman.
Patricia
Arquette.
Peter Dinklage.
This is
Kate Beckinsale.
Bruno, his mom Christine.
He's like, what's up with all these fucking midgets?
You could have prepared us for this, don't you think? If you embarrass me, I'll never speak to you again, so just get it together.
How's everybody great?
And then it gets all serious.
Wait, this trailer's so good. I've never seen the trailer. This is so good.
You knocked up this great girl, and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be little. I'm not like you.
Oh, you'll be dropped into real drama.
Don't discriminate against us.
He said these parties got a little wild. I never expected this. There's sure a lot of midgets around here.
You better back off, Goldie Hawn. My man can do what he wants to do.
I'm ready for an adult relationship.
What is this man doing in your bedroom?
This is chaos, dude. A walk down the aisle.
Steven's he's a very lucky guy. Just hope he's smart enough not to screw.
Look at McConaughey.
Is just a beginning.
They'll be rough
I don't think he ever knew that this movie ever got really released.
Canal Plus and Langley
He literally just took
Productions
the
proudly
paycheck and
present
left.
command performances from Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey,
Just get really serious.
Patricia Arquette, and in the role of a lifetime,
Goldman!
Tiptoe.
What the fuck?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Role of a lifetime.
Wow.
You only get so many chances to work with Gary Oldman. I mean, that's all you do.
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed.
Me neither.
Neither did Matt.
Yeah, he
Evidently.
probably forgets,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he took the paycheck. He probably thought it was a commercial.
man, by the way, what a fascinating guy. Like, he's done a bunch of these podcasts promoting his book, and it's like, man, this guy is more than just a dude who reads lines. Like, he's a heck of a personality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, that's crazy. Anyway. 272-9228. Are we back on air yet?
Haven't got the signal from Jay. So I'm going to go with no.
Okay. Well, dadgum. Well, how about this? Let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
If you need to rent equipment, you need it fast. You need it to be right, and you need it to be easy. In other words, you need Thompson Rents. We know exactly what you need because we live and work where you do. Our business is homegrown and local, just like yours. Since 1957, Thompson has been with you every step of the way, with equipment to rent or buy that fits your needs and your budget. Today, we've got it all, like Cat compact equipment to rent or buy, including skid steers, backhoes, and mini excavators. Plus, allied brands like Genie, Toro, Almond, and Finn, with pumps, area lifts, carry deck cranes, light towers, and more. All backed by people you probably not only know and like, but who you can absolutely trust. So visit ThompsonRents.com for more details or the location near you. Thompson Rents. We're here for you.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Join us tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 at Rick's Jewelers on Fairview Avenue in Prattville for our annual holiday food drive. Drop off your non-perishable food donations to help feed families in need this holiday season.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. We're loving every raindrop we can get. Periods of rain with locally heavy rainfall amounts, a few thunderstorms. In fact, some storms strong, possibly severe. Breezy today, high 71. The risk of rain will fade out by late tonight. Cold front number 2 arrives by Wednesday afternoon. It becomes breezy, much cooler. Wednesday night's low 39. Will only be in the 50s for a high on Thursday and Friday. We could see mid-30s and maybe a little frosty by Saturday morning. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, their U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. Charles, he's the 25th today?
He's 25th because I got the fat fingers going on.
Charles the First has been very patient. Hey, Charles.
Might have lost him.
Charles, are you there, sir? Or did you mute yourself?
All nights.
Well, we tried.
Yep.
We definitely tried.
Really hard.
Anyway, I kind of like this discussion about like any big like Christmas traditions that aren't the usual, that like maybe is unique to y'all's family and friends.
Yeah, I was telling Byron off air, we kind of get sick of the holiday food after Thanksgiving. We're all burnt out on it. And so I know a lot of people like to cook the same dishes again for Christmas, but a few years back, well, I say a few years, it's been longer than I'd like to admit, I guess, because I was an undergrad. It's been a long time. We started doing Feliz Navidad, so we cook Mexican on Christmas Day.
We usually have Mexican on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're burnt out on, because you've gone to other holiday parties and you just kind of burn out on the tradition.
Yeah, so fajitas and tacos, nachos, all that kind of stuff.
Man, that sounds good.
I remember my mom always likes to do stuff different. So one year it was Mexican, and then one year we have shrimp. But it's never the same thing. She likes to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
But Mexican's so convenient, and who doesn't love Mexican?
I agree.
Yeah, every Christmas morning, and did this for over a decade, it was the cinnamon rolls are actually the orange rolls, you know,
those are
with
the best.
like a huge slab of bacon, and that's what we would have for breakfast on Christmas
That's
morning.
pretty good right there.
Yeah. And I've kept that going.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary mimosa bar in the morning.
That's not my tradition, but that's not,
but
that's
not
not bad.
necessarily
That and no, not alcoholic. My brother and I, we have this thing where we both love bourbon. We're aficionados, so throughout the year we'll get a bottle that we set aside for Christmas, and then we'll surprise each other.
What was the stuff that Jack Campbell made that one year? That was in the kitchen there.
Yeah.
And I think it was he just poured bourbon into an ice.
I got the recipe because he had me get everything, and it was just like a bucket of water, some flavored water, and bourbon, and another bottle of bourbon.
He's like, he called it a mixed drink.
Yeah.
It had it in a cooler. And
There was nothing
it's like,
mixed
that's just dirty water.
Wasn't
man.
supposed to be eggnog. It's just bourbon.
Yeah,
It just sounds like that.
Yeah. I mean, you could have lit it on fire easily. Easily.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite a thing. 272-9228. If you can still hear us on the stream, let's see if this is on one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, it's Howard.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah, you got, I listen to you every day, but you've been off the air for quite a while, just allowed home.
Yeah, we're still streaming online. That's still working, but I don't know what the issue is behind the scenes. We got knocked off about quickly into the show, and it's not been brought back again. I don't know what's going on.
But working
Well,
on
you're not going. Well, you're not going to believe this. I dialed you. I'm sitting here listening to you on the phone.
Right.
Beautiful.
I'm listening. I mean, I'm listening to your show. I'm not messing you up, am I?
No, you're not at all.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm listening to you on a telephone.
While you're talking to us.
On the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I just listened to the person that was. You were talking about Jack Campbell and all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But what I hear you on the phone just like I hear you on the radio.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm going to keep. Okay, I don't have to hang up. I can. Keep
I'll put you
listening,
back
right?
on hold.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
And we got 3 more lines if you just want to listen on the phone.
Let's see.
Goodness gracious.
He's listening to you, listening to him, listening to me.
No, because this is all just throwing me off now. Like we're not even on the air. You're kind of like, well, what are we going to do next? Eddie and I started joking about this yesterday, and it's still got a lot of legs there at 1819news.com. It says Auburn seeks to fill professor position with expertise in queer, trans, anti-racist rhetorics.
Yeah.
Anybody here heard of that before? Rhetorics.
Have not at all.
But
Plural.
they're seeking to fill an assistant English professor position in cultural rhetorics with a series of desired qualifications, including expertise in queer and trans rhetorics, decolonial rhetorics, feminist rhetorics,
What
and more.
is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the new brand.
The university posted the job listing on its online portal, advertising it as a 10-year track position to begin in the fall of 2025.
I feel like that's probably half the English department already, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Successful candidates will contribute to the growth of the department's public and professional writing undergraduate major, the rhetoric and composition and masters of technical and professional communication graduate programs, and will have opportunities to affiliate with interdisciplinary programs like Africana Studies or Women's and Gender Studies. The listing reads. Wait,
As someone who has an English degree, this is.
Tell me.
I'm glad that I got out when I did.
Now, I want to ask you, as somebody with an English degree, like, do you need an English degree to know how to write well? Like,
No.
I'm almost imagine some of the greatest writers of all time never stepped foot in an English department.
No.
And this is what it's a little ironic. It's like we teach English and literature and writing skills here. Wait, but all the people you're reading would have never stepped foot in here.
Right.
Makes you wonder sometimes, right?
And now how far it's gone, it's so like it seems pretty removed from the so-called Western canon at this point. Goodness gracious, whatever happened to Shakespeare and Chaucer? Ugh.
Oh, they were still alive and well when I was there.
Oh,
Man, if I was paying tuition, if I had a student at Auburn and I saw that, I'd write a real strong worded email.
But Craig Monger did some digging and found that cultural rhetorics is a somewhat obscure field of study that is an offshoot of the larger academic rubric of critical theory.
Yes. Critical theory was taught when I was getting an English degree.
Yeah. Cultural rhetorics is all about the critical, pedagogical, historical, and theoretical consideration of the effects of trope, argument, and narrative in different cultures.
Mm-hmm. It's just the lens in which you read something.
Yeah.
The lens
That's
in
what
which
they
you
say.
read a thing, yeah.
That's what they say.
I mean, is that not common sense? I mean, isn't that what we were supposed to be doing?
But you
all
can
along?
interpret text in so many different ways, and it's not based on a actual critical mind, and so much of actually what you do isn't a part of your individual like
development of your conscience and your discernment and wisdom. It's actually more based on like, your identity that you can't change. It's like critical theory is kind of the opposite of literally having a critical mind, which at the bottom of that would be something like individualism. That maybe people from all walks of life could maybe have different perspectives. And yeah, though you can interpret a text in an infinite number of ways, I think some interpretations are better than others.
Mm-hmm.
Much better.
And the author probably only had one intent.
Yes. And or left it ambiguous. I'll give that to artists as well. But like, yeah, I don't think you can sit there. I actually had one professor at Auburn because I got really good at this postmodern bullcrap where I deconstruct the story or whatever. Because, you get an A writing this crap. But I had one drama teacher. I think it was a Eugene O'Neill play we were interpreting. And he gave me it was the only low grade, a C I got in like a writing based thing because he just hated it. He's like, no, this has nothing to do with the frickin' play or what O'Neill is also getting at. Like, I hate this deconstructive blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate the guy giving it to me in that regard.
He didn't like your work?
No, I deserve, that one was me just being too cute by half.
Called you out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
No, well, you learn something a little bit.
You need that once in a while. Everybody does.
Yeah. But the desired qualifications are more obscure than the field itself. In the job listing, Auburn requested quote-unquote expertise in one of or more of the following areas: Black African-American rhetorics, indigenous decolonial rhetorics, non-Western rhetorics, anti-racist rhetorics, queer/trans rhetorics, feminist rhetorics, and disability rhetorics. Of course, Auburn also is one of many state universities that recently disbanded their Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to comply with a state law that went into effect October 1st and banned taxpayer-funded DEI offices and training. Sounds like all those folks are now going to have homes in all sorts of departments like the English department
like
there.
a workaround to me.
Little reshuffling there.
Yep.
Wow.
Workaround.
Putting those college degrees to use. Look at them.
No, it's just a mess. I ran into some of that when I was at Auburn. Because you get it with the political science types. But generally speaking, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
We had a place at Bama called New College that we housed a lot of that.
No, there are a few comparative politics courses that were just straight up all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got plenty of feminist rhetorics in my gender and politics, comparative politics course.
No labs, just classroom.
Yeah, just classroom. Unfortunately. I signed up for the wrong reasons. By the way, the Iron Bowl, I think it's for the first time in 30 years.
At 11:30?
No, 2:30.
2:30.
Thanks, guys.
On ESPN.
But different network. Yeah. It's always been what, on CBS?
Yep.
So this will be, per the SEC, November 30th, 2:30 in the afternoon on ABC.
Oh, is it ABC? Oh,
With the same company. From Bryant-Denny Stadium.
You don't remember the big whole farewell that they did on CBS after the last Alabama game last season?
I was at the game.
Oh, okay. Well, the rest of us that were sitting at the house watching it.
Then I stopped watching CBS.
We're like, bye, Gary and Vern.
Yeah, but when they got rid of Vern, I'm kind of like, I can't. Yeah. I hate Gary Daniels.
Dollar bills, man.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's 100%.
I still think my brother's living a better life than me. Example, he was a Tiger host, the whole recruiting wing. I don't even think it's around anymore. And he got to meet with all the media people coming in, and he sees Vern Lundquist. And he walks up to Vern, my brother does, and says, "Hey, Vern, can you say something for me?" And Vern's kind of expecting it. I'm like, "Can you say, who the hell is Happy Gilmore?" And Vern did it like he read it in the movie.
Really?
Awesome.
And I'm like, okay, my brother's living a better life than me. Just in that way. But who's going to win the Iron Bowl?
Alabama.
By a lot.
Alabama by a lot.
Yes.
Which means 6 points.
Okay.
I hope it looks like the Mercer game last weekend.
You see
You're a
this?
Bama
They're
fan?
getting cocky over here.
Let them be.
I've been
Let 'em be.
outnumbered all the time.
We have nothing to lose.
But I don't know. Now, Auburn could lose every game all season, and they bring
Correct.
it on the Iron Bowl. So
Right.
I don't count them out.
It's like every year.
Yeah.
They could literally lose every game, and it wouldn't be a surprise, and somehow make the Iron Bowl competitive.
It's going to be so miserable. We've decided to leave the country.
That's
Hey,
right.
you're going on big vacations.
Yeah, next week we're heading to Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
And we'll be spending Thanksgiving in Jamaica. So But yeah, we're gonna try to watch the game, but I don't have much faith.
You gonna catch any music while you're down there?
I'm sure we will. One of the things I'm going to do, I can't really tell because my hair grows like crazy anyway, but growing my hair out a little bit, I'm going to get some braids for a day or so. I've done this before, and it's instant headache. But you look cool for a couple of minutes. I'm going to do that.
You think your hair's going to grow much between now and Tuesday?
Oh, honey. It's been, my hair is like, yeah, it'll grow some more. Honestly,
Okay. I can't wait to see you with your braids.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide, do I get cornrows or do I just get like the broccoli top? Or I'm kind of decide which way to go.
Go with the top.
Broccoli top.
Did those words just coming out of your mouth?
What?
Do I get the cornrows or do I go with the broccoli top? Really?
Those are the
How old are you?
55.
So the broccoli top's obviously more fitting for that demo.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
that's what I'm kind of thinking, but also maybe I want to keep it real. Get some cornrows. Play hard for a day or so.
Are you saying rows or rolls?
Rose.
Okay, good. I was making sure.
You never know. With these guys from Chisholm, like, you just never know. Do y'all know where Tarrant is in Alabama? Where is it?
Isn't that near Birmingham?
Birmingham.
I'm just seeing a story here from Erica Thomas, 1819 News. A meeting of the dysfunctional Tarrant City Council ended Monday with no action and a lot of heat. Mayor Wayman Newton once again introduced a resolution to fire Police Chief Wendell Major. Newton has attempted to fire Major for at least 6 months, claiming he, quote, engaged in conduct unbecoming of a chief of police. As Newton, the mayor, read the resolution Monday, Councilman Tommy Bryant began to speak over him. Bryant revealed that the independent council investigation into the allegations against Major found no evidence of a crime. Bryant also read about a previously filed lawsuit against the city where an employee claimed Newton denied her rights under the Family and Medical Leave Act. Mayor Newton harassed, first of all, he made contact with a person who was off on medical leave, which is illegal.
It's illegal.
Then, because she told them about it, he dropped her pay grade and then started taking retaliatory measures at her, fussing at her, discriminating against her. She took this to court and won a large lawsuit against the city of Tarrant because of the mayor's actions. This is all coming from the Councilman Bryant. The councilman then continued to list the mayor's issues with others in the city, including himself. Bryant punched Newton in the face after a meeting in November of 2022.
You in trouble?
When Newton allegedly told Bryant he was going to do vulgar things to his wife.
Oh.
No.
Take it up a notch.
Is this a new episode of that Tim Dillon show or Jerry Springer? Like, what the heck is
It
this?
sounds like honestly a lot of the city meetings that go on. Now that there's cameras in there, you're seeing all the craziness.
By the way, I keep seeing it show up in my shorts. I think I sent it to you guys. It's Reno 911 clip where it's an elderly black gentleman. And he's like, can I get my phone call? Can I get my phone call? Who you going to call? Yo mama. It seems like something out of Reno 911. This is nuts. Okay. So during the council meeting Monday, Bryant said the charge against him was dismissed because the court found any reasonable man would react that way. You say something about a man's wife, he's going to punch you in the face.
Especially vulgar things like that, yeah.
That's when Newton told him that the next time he calls him names, he will hit him too. Bryant then reacted, "You ain't man enough to stand up to me, man." "Well, call me a boy again," Newton said. "Or better yet, why don't you call me a N-word like you've been calling me?" Councilman Veronica Freeman stood up and approached Bryant, asking him to stop. "Stop, Tommy, for me," she pleaded. "Stop, Tommy, because we've got to handle city business. Stop, Tommy, stop." Yo mama. The two continued to go back and forth with name calling and allegation throwing. The resolution did not get a vote. The council attempted to continue the agenda, but took a 10-minute recess after discussing an issue with the fire department. So, we've had fireworks in city council meetings here, and there's sometimes committee meetings in the legislature. Nothing like this. That's insane.
It's pretty intense.
There's been a fist fight on the floor.
When was that?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Walking Wendell and Lowell Barron.
How long ago was that?
4, 6, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Do y'all remember when was it the Board of Trustees at Alabama State University or whatever that it was leaked that they were all fighting at the table? Y'all remember all that?
I mean, it's to me nothing new. I mean, it's embarrassing. But.
Yeah.
I believe when I was talking about, Lowell said something about Wendell's mother.
Another line you can't cross.
Yeah.
Just
a woman's honor.
Your mama.
Your mama. A lot of good fights around here over your mama.
Yeah, there's a way you got to deliver a mama joke. Like certain things, it's like, dude, you just
more than once.
You know, you're from Chisholm if you come home and you said somebody said something about you today, mama, and your mama said, "Did you whoop his ass?"
Nope.
Yes, ma'am, I did. All right.
Oh, I had a buddy in high school who, if he got in a fight, his mom found out that he didn't throw the first punch. He got another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some hard mamas out there.
See, my mother would have whooped me for getting into any fight.
Yeah. Your mom's good. Was a good woman, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was worried about, I grew up with 5 sisters. I better learn how to.
Yeah, and defend them. All right.
They had to quit fighting for me at some point.
It's just like, that's crazy. You're talking about doing things to the man's wife. You've already physically
especially
assaulted one another.
It's supposed to be somewhat professional. I mean, come on.
Like self-government at work.
Have enough professionalism just to walk away. Sometimes a bigger man walks away.
Nuts.
You bigger man than I am. If it gets that heated, I'm just
No,
gonna be
you
like,
walk away long before it gets that heated.
catch me outside.
Oh, by the way, I think the mayor's black. Like,
Yeah.
for a second, I imagined just 2 white guys going back and forth. I'm like, whoa.
Close your eyes. Now imagine.
Yeah. Wow, man. I guess it's not a very big city.
No, it said it was less than 6,000 population.
North of Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
between
Melbourne.
like Birmingham and Fultondale.
It's a battery town, I believe. I thought it was slightly northwest, but
Yeah, that's nuts. How about this? Let's hit another break. I don't know what this show is. I don't even know if we're on the air locally with radio, but
no,
we're here.
We continue.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the river region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
For more information, send an email to digital@BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Has your once proud vehicle seen better days? Fear not, help is on the way. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa on the Atlanta Highway has opened a professional detail shop. This is detailing redefined. Specialized techniques and products are used to get your vehicle back to showroom style. Hand washing, waxing, stain removal, odor removal, minor scratch removal, shampooing, and more. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa, next to Fraser Church on the Atlanta Highway. Now offering professional detail services. Look like you've been to Mr. Ben's.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Tiger. Hey, Tiger, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I was just listening to you guys. I had to call in because you're talking about crazy majors, and I wanted to tell you a 15-second story.
Sure.
Okay, Tom Clancy, he started out as a physics major, but he had to change his major to English. Didn't do well in college at all, graduated with a less than a 2.0. but he changed the whole world, you know?
Right.
When 9/11 happened, he was one of the people that was contacted because they had like a special government task force, and, you know, just by him writing all those books, and he was put on it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, you can major in anything as long as you really get a good, you know, going to a liberal arts college. If you take rhetoric, hell, it don't matter if it's feminist studies, whatever, you know, be a beast at it. Go for it, you know?
Yeah.
I hear you, brother. As someone with an English degree from a liberal arts college.
Okay, did you go to Montevallo by any chance? That's where I wanted my daughter to go.
No, I graduated from Huntington.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's even better. Okay, I went to Talladega. Yeah, listen, small liberal arts colleges, you can't get a better education. And it doesn't matter if the course is crazy, radical, or whatever. Ideas don't change. They've been teaching rhetoric since the Greek, you know.
Sure.
It's just, no matter what you call it, if you study, do your lesson, all your learning, reading, writing, arithmetic, you'll be fine.
Where'd you go? Where'd you say you went to school?
Talladega. It's a small liberal arts HBCU founded in 1867.
Did you grow up there?
Sir?
Did you grow up there?
Did I grow?
No,
grow up there.
Grow up there.
Did I do what now?
Did you grow up there in Talladega?
Oh, no. Birmingham. And
He didn't
the
say
liberal arts
digger.
college that we're losing now is a college called Birmingham Southern.
Yeah. Right.
And it's sad, you know. A lot of these liberal arts colleges are falling apart. Montevallo is our only state-supported state liberal arts college that we have. So.
Yeah, and I always say you don't even have to go to school. You can just, you know, get a list and read the Western Canon yourself.
You can, but if you've got a good professor, see, the good thing about going to Huntington or to a Talladega or to like a Montevallo, you're more likely to be taught by an actual professor, not just a graduate assistant. You know, I'm sure that, you know, going to a big school like Auburn, you had a lot of colleges with graduate assistants, right?
Yes. Well, that's the difference between a college and a
interaction.
university. College doesn't have a master's program, so you don't have graduate assistants.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, but a lot of times, you know, and like a liberal arts college, you go to professors actually know your name. You know, if you miss class, they'll be like, "Hey, where'd Joey go? Where the hell is Joey at? He hadn't been here this week. What's going on?" You know, it's different.
If you go to a university and the college professor doesn't know your name, that's your fault. Mine knew mine.
Yeah, they knew me. On the classes I
I made a scene.
Hey, Ginger, you might have stuck out a little bit there, Ginger.
Oh, I purposely stuck out.
Well, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, you guys take care. Whether you're on the air or not, I'm going to support you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiger.
Thank you.
No, we got a bunch of folks watching online. Appreciate the $358 or so.
Eddie got what I was saying as soon as I asked if he was from there.
Yeah, I knew him.
No.
Digger.
It's like when people tell me I'm from Chiselham. I say, where?
Chiselham?
Is that right? Born and raised Chiselham.
Yeah, nice. Inshallah.
But actually, one time, you know, back in the day, you used to register, like you bought a stereo, you had to register the warranty. So a friend of mine called to register the warranty, and they said, "What zip code are you in?" And he did live in Chiselham. And he gave her the zip code. She said, "Oh, you're in Chisholm, Alabama?" He's like, "Well, yeah, but that sounded discriminatory the way you said that."
That's the name of it, sir.
Is it supposed to sound flattering?
Well, if you live there, you know. But if you don't, it's over by the zoo.
Don't know, now you
Right.
know.
It's over by the zoo. It's good.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Vladimir Putin formally lowered the threshold for Russia's use of nuclear weapons, following President Biden's decision to let Ukraine strike targets inside Russian territory with American-supplied longer-range missiles. Moscow says Ukraine did fire 6 American-supplied missiles at Russia's Bryansk region. The Kremlin's announcement would mark Kyiv's first use of the weapons inside Russia in the war. The UN nuclear watchdog says Iran has defied international demands to rein in its nuclear program
and has increased its stockpile of uranium enriched at near weapon-grade level. The report comes at a critical time as Israel and Iran have both traded missile attacks in recent months. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We're loving every raindrop we can get. Periods of rain with locally heavy rainfall amounts, a few thunderstorms. In fact, some storms strong, possibly severe. Breezy today, high 71. The risk of rain will fade out by late tonight. Cold front number 2 arrives by Wednesday afternoon. It becomes breezy, much cooler. Wednesday night's low 39. Will only be in the 50s for a high on Thursday and Friday. We could see mid-30s and maybe a little frosty by Saturday morning. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
The Wall Street Journal is now reporting that the unionization effort here in Alabama at Mercedes-Benz and Hyundai auto plants have now stalled out. The United Auto Workers Union is seeking to hold votes on unionization at both of those plants. The last vote that was held at the Mercedes plant occurred this past May, with workers opting against joining a union. Afterwards, the UAW president, Shawn Fain, accused Mercedes-Benz of violating labor laws to suppress union votes. The UAW campaign to organize workers at the Hyundai plant appears to have stalled out, according to what one production worker within Hyundai told the Wall Street Journal. That worker says only about 40% of workers at the Hyundai plant support the idea of unionization. UAW President Shawn Fain says the recent Mercedes-Benz vote was very close, so he has no plans to give up on that effort to hold another vote. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
Governor Ivey was at a ribbon-cutting ceremony in Oxford this past Monday. The governor was there to celebrate the opening of a new technology and innovation center for students and adults. The CREATE Center will offer classes in education, arts, and technology, and will expand the study subjects in the years ahead. Other state leaders took part in this ceremony, including Congressman Mike Rogers and State Senator Keith Kelly. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Did you know that hundreds of independent pharmacies have already closed nationwide and Adams Drugs is fighting to keep our doors open? The issues are clear. Lack of accountability and transparency from drug manufacturers and insurance companies. We urgently need your help to ensure Adams Drugs and other independent pharmacies survive. Please contact your local and state representatives today and demand they support our fight to stay open. You can find their contact info at adamsdrugs.net. Thank you for your support. We look forward to serving you and your family for years to come.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Hopefully we'll be back on the air before too long.
Are we there yet?
Nope.
Are we there yet?
We're just on Joey Clark Live.
No.
And that's all we're...
We here, we live.
Yeah, we're live on the internet, folks. Who are watching on the internet, y'all can hear me say that. Anyway.
Or the people listening on the phone.
No,
yes,
Howard.
Howard.
Yeah, Howard. It's just stuff like this happens, though. My give a damn gets broken. It's kind of like, you watch the new Dr. Phil with Bert?
I've watched a couple clips.
It's pretty good. I love fake Dr.
open
Phil.
to,
Have I told you about fake Dr. Phil?
No.
Oh my goodness.
A comedian named Adam Ray.
Okay.
And he does a like spot on, okay, well, we'll be right back.
Dr. Phil impression.
Right.
To the point of Dr. Phil has said, you do a really good Dr. Phil.
But he's also like incredibly dirty and just, yeah, it's very raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
Very seventh grade.
Also like Dr. Phil.
Yeah. But like turned up, it's hilarious.
I'll have to check that out.
Really good.
Yeah, and he's there's going to be a Netflix special where it's him, Adam Ray, as fake Dr. Phil, and his guest that evening will be Dr. Phil.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
It's just check it out.
Oh,
very funny.
Yeah.
My list is getting long of things to check out. You guys are like filling
You've
me in
been
all
gone
kinds
a
of-
while.
I
You
know.
gotta get
Right.
caught up, honey.
I know.
Kill Tony's always good to watch too. It
solid.
depends on the episode, honestly.
Pretty good. I love this. The folks coming up. I would never put my name in a bucket, but I would write your name in there and not tell you. I would love for you to get called out.
One of my favorites I saw live was Drew Nickens. And it's a guy who he was, I think, in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And he was honorably discharged after, like, his fellows beat him almost to an inch within his life, and he has massive brain damage from it.
Yep.
You're like, terrible, awful, sad story. When he goes up there, his minute set's not that good, but you can tell as they're talking to him, like, okay, you literally have brain damage. You're like, yeah. And it turns out they just keep interviewing him, and he's like the sweetest guy.
But it's a whole bucket list thing for him.
With an amazing story, how much he waited to get up there on that stage. And it's like he kept talking, telling his story. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And at one point they do, well, so you've been in Austin, like how many weeks? Like 2 weeks. Have you had a chance to kiss a girl in Austin yet? And they no. And they do the whole, kiss me, that song plays. And they request for a woman to come up on stage to kiss him. Now, they've done this many times before. It's a feature of the show. And it's usually like, some drunk 40-something who's like, yeah, I'll kiss him.
Yeah.
Usually
not the prettiest one.
You say that like that's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but the girl that walks out from the back of the club
Is what, like a babe or something?
yes,
Yeah.
is like where
Gorgeous.
every guy on camera is like,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
what?
Wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
No.
I've never heard that. That's so good.
And so she kisses him, and then they say, you wait in the back, Drew, because if other people bomb, we're inviting you back out.
Yeah.
And everybody kept bombing. They kept inviting him back out, and he kills. And he
Every
kills. And he kills every time. And it's so cool to see like an organic, like, what the best night ever. For a guy who's had it really rough in life, to have like the best night ever, and nobody really planned it. And that's why Kill Tony's such a cool show. Stuff like that.
You got the other ones where they come up and they just bomb.
Oh,
And it's
there's
just
some
so bad.
There are clearly some drug addicts. There are
Oh, no
people
doubt.
clearly with
Oh,
mental
I know.
health issues.
She told you I'm on the run from a mental hospital right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy my set.
Yeah, they get some crazies, true crazies.
And they're
up
like,
there.
oh, I can see why you're locked up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, who's the comedian? Harlan Williams might
Harlan.
be guest of the year. He's
Nuts.
been fantastic.
He's nuts.
Last year's guest of the year was fake Dr. Phil.
Cam's pretty good then. Don't
Cam Patterson?
Yeah.
Cam Patterson. And Ari Maddie's pretty
Ari,
good these
my
days.
fave.
And don't forget the Big Red Machine, William Montgomery. Love that guy.
Y'all are turning me on to all kinds of new people, man.
They're great.
They're
dude.
great. You just watch an episode of Kill Tony and yeah. You lose a little faith in humanity, but every once in a while, a good story like Joey was just talking about will come up.
You thought I had faith in humanity?
No, you've been door knocking before. You know what's out there.
So, how does everybody here in the room feel about Congresswoman Nancy Mace?
If I knew anything
I was about to
her.
say, I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Tell me what state.
I think it's North Carolina.
Tell me
No,
what,
South Carolina, excuse me.
I like her.
Yeah.
Do I?
No, she's been kind of she's the one who does some of the foul mouth jokes at some of these dinners. Like she was just owning the room there, some of these gala
she sounds
events.
like my type.
Yeah. She's attractive. And like actually somebody made a stink about her being too
Too attractive?
Yeah, and too salty and like inappropriate. So the next day she wore a very form-fitting t-shirt with a big scarlet A on it to the Congress.
Oh.
Well, that same woman, Nancy Mace.
Oh, I recognize her when I pulled her up. Okay.
Yeah. She has introduced a controversial bill. Controversy. To ban transgender individuals from using Capitol Hill bathrooms that align with their gender identity.
Are there a lot of people on Capitol Hill that are trans looking for the bathroom?
The legislative move is targeted at Sarah McBride, a Democrat from Delaware who will be the first transgender member of Congress when she is sworn in this January. The brief bill unveiled by Mace on Monday states, quote, a member, delegate, resident, officer, or employee of the House may not use a single-sex facility, including a restroom, changing room, or locker room in the Capitol or House office buildings other than those corresponding to the biological sex of such individual. The prohibition is to be enforced by the Sergeant at Arms.
Hey, dude, you got to get out of the ladies' room.
Yeah.
Poor old Sergeant at Arms.
I know. Yeah.
Why do I got to do it?
You know how old that dude is?
Yeah.
Don't they have a prison underneath the
I thought they had at least a jail.
Capitol? Yeah, I think.
Barbershop, workout facility, all the perks. It's like a club.
But it's a Korean barbershop.
Biological men do not belong in private women's spaces, period, full stop, end of story, May said in a statement announcing the bill on X.
Just go outside. Pick a bush.
You'll get arrested for that.
Will you?
Ask me, I know.
Everything else seems to go up there.
So they're handling all the serious stuff up there in the United States Capitol.
Just help you gain faith in our leadership.
I'm still a bit indifferent.
For good reason.
But the Daily Caller News Foundation has an exclusive story. Here's the headline. Chinese summer camps teach American kids to be like Red Army soldiers and quote-unquote little police officers.
Narcs?
Thousands of American kids are being sent to camps run by a Chinese influence and intelligence agency that promote Chinese Communist Party propaganda and even train some children to act like, quote, little overseas Chinese police. The Chinese government advertises the root-seeking summer camp in China as an opportunity for ethnically Chinese children living in the U.S. and other countries to immerse themselves in Chinese language and culture. However, a Daily Caller News Foundation review of Chinese government announcements in the program's website discovered the camps are overseen by a Chinese influence and intelligence service. The program not only exposes participants as young as 10 years old to CCP propaganda, but some even operate like boot camps run by officers from the People's Liberation Army and Ministry of Public Security. Chinese government social media posts reveal the long arm of the CCP's malign influence extends into the United States and seeks to assert an illegitimate claim on all of those of Chinese ancestry, regardless of their nationality. Michigan Republican Representative John Molinar told the Daily Caller, we need to protect all those on American soil from the CCP's authoritarian agenda. I mean, this is happening on American soil.
That's
like,
what I went.
That ain't Camp Belcher, I can tell you that.
Yeah, in August, over 50 children from the U.S., Canada, Portugal, and other countries participated in an 8-day camp in and around the city. Okay, this was in China.
Ah.
Huh. Interesting.
Wonder what lunch was like.
Non-existent.
Probably fried chicken. I like fried chicken over there.
A friend of mine years ago,
Seriously.
20 years ago, had to go to China for automotive reasons. One of the persons that was assigned to him, their whole job was to make sure there was food readily available wherever they went. Because the guy before him, there were instances where there's just nothing palatable to eat. Yeah.
Ew.
I think I could find something to eat.
Oh, they got stuff for you to eat, but
Stuff that's actually palatable?
no.
Seriously, I think I just get fried chicken.
I had fried chicken at different places. In
Not
Korea,
the same?
We thought we were having fried chicken. I'm pretty sure it wasn't fried
They
chicken.
do a lot of those sweet sauces over there.
They also cook a lot of rats.
Oh, dude.
What?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Thank you. It's Korea.
Yeah.
At least our people have it nice enough to be able to eat cats and dogs and not rats.
Although there is a law in Louisiana, if you have a raccoon, you've got to keep the skin on its feet to make sure everybody knows it's not a cat.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
but
at
why
least
is that
they're
law
on
there?
top of that.
Why is that law there? Yeah.
272-9228. Let's see if there's anything breaking in the news right now.
Roxy's leash.
Oh. Senate Pro Tem Greg Reed is resigning to go work for Governor Ivey. Yeah, that's right, Roxy. So
This is only being reported today? Or did it
no,
become official today?
they reported his resignation and like that there's going to be context between, I guess, Steve Livingston and Garland Gudger probably for the pro tem spot, but it was not clear what Greg Reed was going to go do. That I don't think had been reported.
Okay.
So it looks like he's going to work for Ivy. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I love it. You know, there's something that's stinky in our own backyard finally gets national attention for how stinky it is. Elon Musk calls out a Montgomery-based Southern Poverty Law Center as a quote-unquote criminal organization. Elon is tired of the SPLC. Why? Well, because apparently the SPLC has been doing some hacking of their own. They went into the source code of, you know, the website Not the Bee?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, many of the people that write for Not the Bee have aliases. They want to remain anonymous because they have
That's
other
why they
jobs,
do that,
everyday
right?
jobs.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the SPLC has now extracted from the source code information from the site and are now getting in touch, essentially threatening to dox these folks.
That was illegal. But what's illegal anymore?
Well, the SPLC is why Montgomery's streets are full of homeless people and beggars.
Thank you.
Yeah, in response to
And
claim...
they got paid for it, too. The SPLC took a check.
That's exactly right. So the city had a settlement with the SPLC.
You think any more homeless or less homeless people happened that day?
No.
Nope.
In response to the claims that the SPLC was planning on doxing several anonymous writers for Not the Bee, the news source that started as an offshoot of the satire site, the Babylon Bee, Musk offered his opinion on the SPLC, saying he believed it was a criminal organization. Just put that out to a lot of people earlier today. And nearly 40,000 people have liked that and agree with Mr. Musk. According to Babylon Bee CEO Seth Dillon, the SPLC extracted sensitive information from the site to expose anonymous writers. Of course, they're a nonprofit 501c3. It started in 1971 as a public interest law firm in the South representing low-income people who couldn't represent themselves in court. In recent years, the SPLC has come under fire internally for allegations of corruption, racial discrimination, and targeting its own union members.
That's the one I remember.
Externally, the SPLC has long been accused of tarnishing conservative and libertarian organizations by falsely labeling them as racist and placing them on a list with the Ku Klux Klan and other white supremacist organizations. Yep. Conservative members of the Congress have also launched probes into the federal government's reliance on SPLC data and research into alleged quote-unquote hate groups, which federal law enforcement allegedly used to target and monitor the groups identified by the SPLC.
Is it still run by Morris Dees?
No,
Nope.
That's all
That
those
whole
scandals that
restructuring
I just read that
That
that's
took
all
care of
his
that.
ouster.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richard had to ask Morris to leave at some point.
Too many incidents.
I don't know, man. My we've had this conversation off the air. The amount of conversations I've had to listen in on regarding the SPLC, no self-respecting conservative should have to listen to.
Well, and Matt Gaetz, he has said explicitly he's called out the FBI's reliance on SPLC
it
data.
should be.
Kind of crazy. But that's cool when, like, the richest man on earth, probably one of the most famous men on earth, calls out an organization that we all know here locally.
Good to see he acknowledged Montgomery, Alabama.
Good to see that, indeed.
Hey, you saw we had an earthquake yesterday?
Where do we have an earthquake?
Where's that say?
Mama's house.
2.5 in Walker County. Where's that? I'm sorry.
Your mama?
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Man. 95 years old. No, she's not.
But where?
Walker County.
Walker County. Where's that?
North Alabama?
Yeah, North Alabama, I'm sure.
Okay. It's a foreign country to
Getting
me.
ready to do some fracking.
Winston.
The
By
free-
Winston? Oh.
The free state of Winston.
I know about Winston.
Walker's right beside it. Jasper.
Oh, okay. Right.
Jasper County.
Would you suggest I spend more time in the northern part of the state, just sightseeing? Much to see?
Man, up around Scottsboro, DeKalb, some of the most beautiful country you'll ever see.
I believe it. Because that's right as the mountains get going, and yeah, that's going to be
foothills of the
beautiful.
Appalachian.
Yeah.
Stop by Unclaimed Baggage in Scottsboro.
I've always wanted to go there.
So I had a
It's so
friend go
cool.
there because we saw that like a special in 60 Minutes one time. He swears it was a big ripoff. He was disappointed with the prices and all that.
Oh, no,
He
no,
said
no.
they had everything you ever wanted, but it was not what
There's-
he thought to be a discount.
There's not a substantial marked discount,
But they just got
But
everything.
as far as being able to pick and choose, I guarantee you it's the best selection of shopping in Scottsboro, without a
Well,
doubt.
nationwide, right?
Maybe even Huntsville. It's kind of funny to think about. Like they have an entire bridal section, so whenever you go in, you'll see these mannequins, and they'll have like wedding dresses on them and everything, and you're like, that bride was crying, that bride was crying.
Yep.
This dad was crying because he lost his golf clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the jewelry too, like some of the big, thick gold. Like, I would have tracked this thing down.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. And there's some caverns. I think it's
DeSoto?
actually in DeKalb where they have some concerts. So the concerts actually, under earth, and that's one of the most surreal settings you can see anything.
272-9228. Just looking to see what the latest from 1819news.com, and looks like they're picking up on some comments Coach Senator Tuberville put out with Laura Ingraham. 7th straight audit failure, Tuberville said on X. $824 billion, and we don't even know where it went.
No clue. And a big middle finger when you say, "Can you give me some specifics? Are you going to take that much less off your budget next year?" Nah.
In per conversation with Judge Napolitano here, Tuberville said, quote, "Look at what Joe Biden did yesterday. He approved $100 million worth of ATACMS to go to Ukraine to start World War III in Russia while he's looking for the spotted owl over in the Amazon. Nobody knows where that money is coming from. They just pull it from here, pull it from there. Audit is a bad word up here. The entire time I've been here, it's a bad word," Tuberville told Ingram.
100%. I mean, I wish we could audit, department by department.
Should be a regular thing.
I mean, we need to do that at every level of government.
Well, as individuals, we all have that
responsibility, right?
Yeah, and
Well,
Tuberville
that's
went
where
on to
Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to come in.
Doge. Yeah, I think it's going to play out well. And then Katie Britt out there in the news. I guess Shannon Bream has a show, a radio show. And essentially, the long and short of it is they think they're going to hit the ground running, especially with the border. Here, quoting Senator Britt, quote, "I think you'll see President Trump come in with a significant amount of strength looking at a number of the executive orders that President Biden put in place. He did 94 executive orders in his first 100 days that undid a lot of the progress that President Trump had made during his administration. So you'll likely see a great deal of that coming out immediately out of the gate. I think that's correct.
How quick you think OPEC's going to change some prices of oil? Because we're fixing to tap our own, baby. It's back on.
Yeah?
Keystone Pipeline.
Thank you.
Petrodollar.
Look, I'm telling you, look at it.
Petrodollar.
They are ready. They are supplies and folks heading that way.
You know, one of the things, like, and it hurt me because I saw where Biden's administration claimed that more of the leases were being utilized than, ever before. They leased out the land, but as far as functional wells,
you can't drill.
It was like 70% not active.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Because they wouldn't approve it.
Yeah. Look in Texas, the wells will start opening back up.
Yeah, hopefully a lot does happen immediately day one. You mentioned Doge. I think one thing that's actually going to, it won't be that big of a legal fight. They're just going to change the rules that you have to be in the office 5 days a week. And I got a feeling a lot of people are going to quit.
Wait,
what's your percentage you thinking?
Whoa. Let's not do anything crazy now.
Yeah.
You mean you have to show up and do your job for 5 days?
No, you got to show up first. We're going to get into doing
Yeah,
the
you
job
can't work
part
from
later.
home anymore.
Yeah. Just got to show up.
Apparently there are millions of federal employees that have been working from home.
So what percentage is going to leave?
I don't know
I'm thinking
exactly.
up to 20%. I think
that's going to be problematic.
Retire and quit.
Well, they're going to have to be pretty specific on that because a lot of those employees aren't in D.C.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I understand that.
You want to hear Vivek on it?
Sure.
Bring it.
Rock and roll.
Let's listen into Vivek.
Executive action to do the failures of the executive branch that need to be addressed. Because the dirty little secret right now, Maria, is the people we elect to run the government, they're not the ones who actually run the government. It's the unelected bureaucrats in the administrative state. That was created through executive action. It's going to be fixed through executive action. Think about the Supreme Court's environment over the last several years. They've held that many of those regulations are unconstitutional at a large scale. Rescind those regulations, pull those regs back, and then that gives us the industrial logic to then downsize the size of that administrative state. And the beauty of all of this is that can be achieved just through executive action without Congress. Score some early wins, and then you look at those bigger portions of the federal budget that need to be addressed one by one. So I think that's one way to think about this is how can the President of the United States, who's been elected with a historic mandate, actually do the thing that the voters have voted for. They haven't voted for incremental change here this time, Maria. We have voted for sweeping change, and the voters actually deserve to get it. And we're focused on how to do that as early and as quickly as possible.
So President-elect Trump just said on that soundbite that you're going to make recommendations. So you're going to make recommendations in terms of where to cut after all that you've just said. Then what?
Look, we're not going to be cutting ribbons. We're going to be cutting costs. And so those recommendations are going to be on a real-time basis. But I do want to take a big step back and understand, for people to understand the scope of this problem. Over $500 billion that's spent every year right now was not even authorized by Congress in the first place. The Pentagon has just failed its 7th consecutive audit, nearly $1 trillion of budget. They can't even tell you where it goes. So I think part of this is exposing for the public the extent of that rot and waste, but then to take steps first through executive action and then laying the groundwork for broader change through legislation as well to rein in that deficit, to rein in that budget. And more crucially, Maria, I know we're talking about this in terms of efficiency, but there's something deeper going on here. This is about restoring self-governance and accountability in America as well. Elected leaders, if they make the wrong decisions, voters have a great choice. You can vote them out and remove them. Most of the people making these decisions, from healthcare to the Department of Defense, are failing on effectiveness because they have no accountability. Historically, it's been the view of many scholars to say that those people could not even be fired. Now we take a different view with the environment the Supreme Court has given us in recent years, and we're going to use that in a pretty extensive way, Maria, to move quickly.
Now he's saying it over and over again, and I wonder how many folks understand what's coming.
Did he say $7 billion not authorized by Congress?
No, he said like something like $500 billion.
Okay, so he said can fit them through executive action.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need Congress
on a lot of this stuff. That's the theory.
Why not kind of fortify them through congressional action? We got Senate, we got the House.
If you wait, Congress won't do a lot.
I'm not saying wait. Do it through executive action, and then
Well, pushes their contract. No, I think you do both. Yeah.
Fortify it.
Yes, I think you do both. It's a longer presentation. Like if you actually said, how are you going to get rid of, let's say, all these employees at this particular department? Wait, you really claim the executive could shut that down? And Vivek's the guy who's going to be like, yeah, here's the U.S. code. Here's a Supreme Court precedent. We're on good standing and footing here.
Right.
Let's do it. And then I think you're also going to see that other conversation we were having. Like they do have broad authority to change rules in terms of employment. And they're going to change some of those rules and terms to where folks go, well, I kind of don't want to work there anymore.
You know, I'm just thinking about that nightmare scenario in 8 years or 4 years, whenever the Dem eventually does win the presidency and rolling back all the orders. You know, let's do what we can now through
To
Trump's-
codify it. Yeah.
Right,
Well, the
and codify
general
it
idea,
later on.
and I've been saying this a lot in this last year or two, is it's kind of like the Afghanistan withdrawal, which was done awfully, but like how many folks other than the Uber hawks are actually like, yeah, let's reverse that and jump right back into Afghanistan? I don't think any of them. So the point is, if you knock down some of these agencies, even the people screaming at the moment that you're knocking it down, like how dare you, we're gonna beat you at the ballot box and stuff, say they get back into power, they're not gonna rebuild what you knocked down.
Right.
Because everybody knows it's kind of crap.
And
And the only reason it exists is because it exists.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to beat you at the ballot box.
Right.
either.
And thus, the executive aspect of this is to get the speed and the momentum even going faster. I think it will come out of the gate on the 20th.
I agree with all that. I'm just saying codify it.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that, too.
Take advantage of the opportunity that we have.
Well, and that's where
Make
some
it harder
of the
to reverse.
Yeah, and some of the
Yeah.
big Supreme Court stuff, you do need Congress to sort of, you're right, fortify, put their stamp on it for some big changes. But we shall see. That aspect of what Trump is doing, because Vivek, I think, is brilliant on the legal side of this. He's really examined it. And then Elon is, I mean, that's his whole career of strip down ways. Like the guy, organizationally, he can look at an org chart and pretty quickly understand you don't need this, you don't need that. He's a brilliant guy in that regard.
A lot of people that come from, engineering, architecture, construction, anything like that, as soon as someone gives them a cost estimate, they take 15% off.
Yep.
And say, do it for this. Because they know that the waste is built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a heck of a fight. And it's going to be something we haven't seen, I think, in American politics. The way they're going to go about it is not something we've seen in a long time. Bringing that sort of startup energy to Washington, D.C. We'll see. Are we back on air yet?
No.
Damn.
Well, the
Working on it.
revolution is going to be streamed.
Well, I appreciate the nearly 400 folks watching.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it. For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you our generous listeners to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive, benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Bring your donations to City Pawn on the Atlanta Highway. City Pawn, Alabama's oldest pawn shop. Family owned and operated since 1943. Donate what you can. It's our annual food drive. From Blue Water Broadcasting at City Pawn.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. The risk of rain and maybe a few thunderstorms will remain in the forecast well into the evening hours, moving out by late tonight. Could be a couple of stronger storms, too, with damaging wind gusts. Overnight low temperature tonight down to about 63. It'll be breezy. Then cold front number 2 arrives tomorrow afternoon. Breezy, much cooler. We'll be in the upper 30s, I think, by Wednesday night. Only in the 50s for a high on Thursday and Friday, and maybe mid-30s perhaps by Saturday morning. That would raise the prospect of some frost. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action from the Blue Water Weather Center. This is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. So far this year through MLS, there have been over 4,000 closings in the river region. Sellers have been getting on the average of over 97% of the listed price. In this ever-changing real estate market, I've seen more price reductions on listings over the last 3 months than I've seen in years. It's time to act for a buyer. So we have a greater supply of homes for people to see before they buy. We have an average price of $261,000 in our area. Local mortgage companies have come up with really attractive plans for first-home homebuyers, such as down payment assistance, lender credits to help on the closing costs, and buy-down plans to buy down the starting rate for borrowers. Investing in yourself and your community is life-changing for first-home homebuyers. You need a buyer agent to represent your interest and give you great advice. For all this information, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi, Rich Thomas here. I'm in Prattville at the Depot Furniture Gallery. The Depot is having an unbelievable sale. They are moving, and with a showroom and warehouse full of inventory, they want to get it sold so they don't have to move it to their new location. With the Depot buying directly from the factories by the truck and container loads, their prices are amazingly low. But now with this moving sale, everything is an additional 50% off the already low sale price. And that includes everything: bedroom, dining room furniture, kitchen islands, entertainment centers, pictures, lamps, and accessories. Also, the 50% sale includes rugs from their rug gallery. The Depot has a great selection of rugs for Oriental weavers and lowly rugs. Trust me, you don't want to miss this 50% off moving sale. The Depot is located at 616 Highway 82 West Prattville, inside Prattville Pickers, hours 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 1 to 5. Call 334-380-3300 or find the Depot Furniture Gallery on Facebook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon, and Eddie there has already got Roxy in your lap. Yeah. Folks have been asking, sniffing the mic and everything. Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
What you doing?
She's had a treat, so she's going to be a pest here for a bit.
Oh no, she loves me.
Oh yeah, she loves everybody.
That's the voice of Seth Spotlow.
You look good today, man.
Yeah, Matt, you do too.
Dude, I learned today that you can't talk trash about Eddie without people getting defensive.
Really?
Yeah, everybody loves him for some reason. I don't get it. 'Cause he's a jerk.
Don't let it out. Yeah, he's very smackable.
He really is, and people don't get it. They really love you, and I can't stand it because I'm like, "Who you hate, Eddie?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "What?"
Right.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You're lucky. I can't say those words.
People do love me, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't figured out why either. You can ask my wife. I look at her all the time. I'm like, I don't get it.
I mean, I love you, but you still deserve to get a hard time too.
I agree, but I
love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Dude, I'm not a big fan of myself.
I respect the hell out of
you. You know me. I'm not a big fan of myself.
No, and you're like, you can't even hear your own lisp.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I got a lisp.
Yeah, I feel like you're doing a reverse promo right now. You know what that is?
What am I selling?
It's like it's like a wrestling promo where you're like cutting one, like it sounds like you're tearing somebody down, but you're actually like building them up with that tone of voice.
Ah, crap. I wasn't meaning to do that.
Eddie, I got something to tell you, brother. I got something to tell you, brother.
What?
I love the way you show up on time every day. It's amazing.
No, you're not talking to me.
When you lost all that weight, you should have bought new shirts because that one's too big.
It's too big. You're right. I'm going to
You need a
I'm gonna
medium,
get
big boy.
a new wardrobe when I get to Jamaica. All cotton shirts from Japan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jamaica. Ooh, going to Jamaica.
Man, what you really do have an issue with him.
Oh, Seth always hates me.
Oh, okay.
He's always doing something that good, normal people can't do. Go to Jamaica. I got houses. I retired at 12.
He's just punchable, you know.
Yeah.
I have worked since I was literally 13. I couldn't tell you the last day. Well, I did take this Sunday off. Other than that, I couldn't tell you the last day I've had off. And most people, you're right, get annoyed with me because I go, dude, you're always talking about money.
I'm on the Book of Faces, which I don't like to get on, and I see a picture.
It's a business thing.
That some girl took of him doing something.
Okay.
All he was doing was changing a plug cover. It's a screw, dude.
No, it was
a plug?
Rewiring an outlet.
Oh,
but I'm not.
It's a receptacle. There's 2 wires.
You know, I grew up too rich to understand this fight right now. Excuse me.
I was just
pardon
glad
me.
when she took the picture, she didn't take it from the other angle because I'm sure I had some butt crack going on. So,
Plumber's crack?
Yeah, it was
gut.
No, it was from the back. That's the front. Roxy.
I'm sorry they're fighting in front of you. Yeah, folks, we've already given up. Patrick earlier said, Eddie's starting up that snorkel shop. You going to do that?
I'm going to look at some stuff over there. Never mind.
Oh, come on. Tell us your dreams. Makes me feel bad.
No, because I have learned if you say your dream too loud, it will not come true.
No, have you met me?
If you say your dream too loud.
But if you say it quietly into your pillow at night.
Right. You have a better chance.
I tell everybody I'm loud. Oh, speaking of dreams, okay, so I thought the radio was the only dream, okay?
Mhm.
Well, so apparently I want to be an IT guy, okay? Like,
All right.
and so last week when I left early, I took the IT test.
And how we do?
Ooh, no, I failed. You know why I failed?
Because you didn't study?
No, because I didn't know what IT stood for.
I was kind of concerned about that.
That was a question, and I had no clue what it meant.
What does it mean?
Oh God. Shoot, this is where I was at the other day.
Something technician.
No, I got the technician for oh crap. This is what happened.
Intermodal.
No.
Transfer computer.
Information?
Yes! Thank you! I had to write, I never cheat on anything, but I wrote info on my hand that next morning.
Nothing wrong with it.
Dude, doesn't that kill you, man? And like,
call Seth today.
Yeah, dude. I mean, golly.
Is it a one-timer?
There were 30 questions, right? I whizzed through it, and they were outdated about Windows 7. I was killing it, boy.
Oh, good.
And then I got to what does IT stand for? No clue. And you know what? I picked like a lady in HR. I just stood in her office, started talking to her because that's what I do.
Mhm.
And then like the other lady that was grading my test came in, and I told the other lady, I said, hey, I'm probably going to fail it by 1. And then the lady was like, you failed it. I was like, by 1? She was like, yeah. And I was like, I knew it. But I was happy
because you're going for an IT job and you didn't know IT stood for information technology.
Well, what
kind of? It's going to be on the test, man.
Don't feel bad. One time I was at one of those Hyundai interviews. It was like a mass interview. One girl let out loud in front of everybody, "When do we get our free car?"
What?
When do we get our free car? We're not here for the free car.
Did they beat her with canes?
No, they did ask her to leave, and it was embarrassing. But
she did not drive off in a Hyundai.
No, she did not.
But everybody else did.
Wow. No, that's a great story, actually.
Yeah.
So when are we taking the test again?
Second day, I took the test.
Excellent.
Well, the first day it took 35 minutes.
Okay.
The second day I took the test. It took 5 minutes. I didn't read any questions, and I passed it. Yay!
Because you remembered them from the last.
Probably said that part out loud.
Dude, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, congratulations.
I know, man. And then today, the reason I'm not here earlier is because the IT supervisor said, "Can you be here by 1?" And I was like,
Heck yeah,
"I'll
kid.
be there, boss." And that was the easiest interview ever.
Awesome.
Because I've been sucking so many toes for so many months that he just was basically like, "You're gonna make this, and you're doing this," and I was like, "Don't you want to warn second shift?" He was like, "They'll be fine."
And you also told us that you met one of our regular callers in real life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He looks like Bull from Night Court.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah. I thought
What's
he
up,
was a
Soldier
boy.
Boy?
He should be called Soldier Old Man.
Oh,
He's a tall dude.
Yeah. And
Tall
up
glass
there.
of water for sure.
No,
That's a
like
large-
we're not back on air yet, so it's kind of like
Really? Who's listening?
300 and something folks.
Oh, the people that are on here?
yeah, folks on the stream, but
Nice.
the radio is not working, and it's still not back up again. I don't know what the heck that is, but no, congratulations. That's
Thanks,
cool,
man. Dude,
I know
was-
you were going for that gig.
Like, that was the whole point of me starting that job. Like, I quit the other job and took a half a pay cut. And I knew that if I went out there and I just busted tail for 3 months, I could manipulate my way back into something reasonable.
Don't say
And-
manipulate. You
not-
taught them people that you are the man for the job.
Well, I'm just not going to lie. And I did it. And
Not manipulate.
there were
gave
some
me
times that I
examples, man.
jumped people and went straight to the top, which was a terrible idea. That lady made me feel like about an inch tall.
And tell the rest of it.
And then the next day she was like, "Hey."
No,
never
if you
do
go
this
to the
with your guy."
principal and you show some moxie, you sometimes get
I'm saying,
rewarded
man.
for that.
Oh, sometimes I did a lot, but like, yeah. So I'm $3 ahead of what I was making before the
Excellent.
other job, and I don't have to put up with people yelling at me or carrying concrete and slabs, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna be
That's a
smart
good
now.
thing, dude. That's a good thing.
So happy.
All
Never
right.
had anything this nice before.
And thanks to President Biden, you're pretty much back on par with what you were making.
What does that have to do with it?
Just pointing out that 3%,
Dude.
that 3% bump kind of got nullified.
But
Man, that
be ready for the Trump bump because it's coming,
He's
brother.
gonna choke on a pee.
What?
Biden?
Yeah.
You don't eat peas.
Just like he better start eating healthy with RFK Jr. being in power.
Oh, dude, I love
He's
that
not going
guy.
to have a choice.
Man,
By the way, Bill Maher did a whole panel with Dr. Casey Means and a bunch of folks praising Robert Kennedy. But Bill Maher, in that conversation, I'm not even going to play the thing. This is the kind of the money quote. He says, "I get the most hate when I talk about obesity."
There's a lot of fat people around
because
here, man.
probably
There are
like
a lot of-
a-
Well, why are they so
Even-
sensitive about it?
even
They have
some
a
people-
mirror.
How's
Even
it
some
feel?
people that aren't fat get defensive about it.
or they just wear big shirts.
Don't bother me, no.
It's probably
I'm
because
fat.
he didn't distinguish between pH
Sorry, I
and
can
F.
afford good food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, fat hamburgers.
Yeah. Greg Budell asking, "Are we off there?" Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. But the stream goes on. Starship, SpaceX Starship passes engine test. Cool. I think it's going to be the 6th test to launch.
Nice. When's it actually going to launch?
I think it just did. I'm looking at a video of it now. Wow.
Is it one of those landers? The ones going to land to?
Yeah, no, I don't know if they're doing that today. I know Trump is going to be there
That's cool.
in person with Elon to see the next time they try to catch it.
I love watching them land. How, like the fins
It's
are just
remarkable.
like, you know, and man, it's so great.
Really is remarkable stuff.
Makes you wonder if like we could have done that without him.
Nope. Nobody would even consider it. Remember, we just chucked them in the ocean and go pick them up.
Yeah, I guess we are kind of wasteful.
And we had to use him to get our latest astronauts from space because they were stranded.
All right. Anything else you want
Mm,
to miss? Musk?
no. Mm.
No, it hadn't happened yet. It's about to happen. That was just a test of the rocket system of the Raptor engines. So that is, they just posted 4 minutes ago on SpaceX on X that the Starship team is go for prop load.
That's a lot of X's.
Yeah. I think everything's just going to go into an X. His son is named X. He named his son X.
Speaking of X's, okay, there's that new Wicked movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and on the back of the toys, the website,
Yes.
they
They're all
did
about this.
not distinguish between the Wicked movie and the Wicked website.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
What you imagine is what's that?
So
Wait, so people are going to like a hardcore porno
A
site?
lot of kids
Yeah.
learning about the birds and the bees.
well, no, they already knew.
That's nuts.
I know, man.
Yeah.
And don't you think somebody would have been like, "Hey,
Somebody didn't prove it. You got to prove it.
Well, and everybody's lying then in that
Or
office.
it's just-
Well, I didn't know that was even a
oh my
porno.
God!
site.
Speaking of that, can't you not go to that anymore in Alabama?
It's
What have
true.
they done to me?
They haven't done anything.
I just figured this out.
Don't scream about it. Just get a VPN, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you still can't buy lottery tickets with a VPN.
Yeah, they've got a
Okay,
lock
so they
on
know
that.
what we're doing, and they're allowing you.
No,
to
the
violate-
lotto sites.
Yeah, but they're allowing you.
No,
to
if you
violate
are on
some
a
laws.
VPN,
Yeah.
the lotto site will not let you
Right.
do it. Yes.
because they know. So a VPN, how good is it? It's good for porn, but not for lottery.
Time to start a
It's
board.
good for Netflix too if you want to watch what they're watching in Germany.
Oh no,
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
yeah, dude. Go to
Alabama,
Japan.
good
Oh,
for
yeah.
porn, not good for lottery.
All you have to do
Put
is
that on
watch
a
like
t-shirt,
two.
baby.
I do love that you go to the site and it's like, please call your representative.
I know. I was so bummed out when I saw it the other day.
Were they
I
bummed
know,
out
it-
when you called?
It's taken me that long. I was fixing to sign up for a membership, start paying
So
somebody.
did you call your streaming service first and say, "Hey, something's wrong with
No,
my
I went to
service
that
here
of. I went to of.
It's like that scene in Anchorman. Yes, Sister Margaret. We've all seen our share of German pornography.
Have now.
I'm going to hit this last ad break.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Phone Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This season, Guardian Credit Union is here to make your holidays merry, bright, and financially right. Whether you're shopping for the perfect gift or planning a cozy getaway, we've got you covered. With holiday loans, checking solutions, and fraud protection tools, you can spend with confidence. And Guardian's mobile app makes it easy to keep track of your holiday budget. Stop by one of our branches and let us be your holiday helper. From all of us at Guardian, happy holidays. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Oh, welcome back. What a mess of a day. Seriously.
Are you kidding? It's been a great day. Spotlow showed up.
Yeah, it's a great day, but
We
it's
had
still
Madeline,
it's kind of a
another
mess,
great
a car crash of a show here, given that the radio signal isn't working.
Hey, man, it happens. That's what happens when it rains, and it
Yeah.
hadn't rained in 6 months.
Yeah,
the whole world floats away.
This is true.
I'm just trying not to get knocked in the face by fresh. If you come up to him real too quick, he will hit you.
All goes to hell when something gets wet. Let's go to live. You're on the air. Who's this?
This is Poe Ivy, husband of the governor herself.
Oh, hi. How are you, ma'am?
Well, I'm pretty good. I really like the show, and I want to give you a heads up about what's going on and what job Greg Reed's got over here with Cousins.
Okay.
Well, you're never going to believe what happened. The staff is really, really ticked at you. Your editorial got sent to Nancy over the Department of Horrendous Resources, DHR. And she went to a ribbon cutting that cousin was having in North Alabama to check on her for elder abuse, and said she can no longer hold those big scissors anymore and she might fall, and her scissors were officially taken from her. Greg Reed will now be the official scissor holder.
Well, I appreciate you giving us the inside scoop there.
There was some strong rumblings that a lot of that was because some of that initiative may get undercut by President Trump's policies, so they were going to try to act fast while they could.
I think a lot of people are doing that. There's in New York, there is if you come into, I think it's Manhattan, there's going to be a $15 fee for you to come into Manhattan, and they're trying to hurry up and rush that in because for some reason they believe Trump will not let that happen. That's a state deal, so I don't understand why. But at the same time, why are they charging me $15 to go into my own freaking country?
It sounds like a toll bridge.
It's literally a tax. I mean, yeah.
What a mess.
It's a mess.
Did we learn anything today?
I think the judge may have actually misspoke. Congress or congressional cycles are 2 terms or 2 years, not 4, I believe. He said 4.
There's a little braver here.
Trying to think in what context. It was about talking about recess appointment?
He was talking about each Congress, and he said the duration of Congress was a 4-year term. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 years. You can fact check me on that.
Well, no, and each Congress is yearly.
But each Congress,
like representative is
like,
2 years.
I think we're in, like, this is the 1/17th?
Yeah, something like that.
Those are 2 years, like 1/15th, 1/16th.
Oh, okay. So there's no 1/18th?
Well, there will be if we're not already in. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I learned that nobody hates Eddie like me.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy.
I think that's well established.
Not a lousy shirt again.
I know.
He does. Yeah, he has some standards.
Like a fancy vase.
Really?
Yeah.
Something like, I can certainly do
what
that.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I can certainly do that. We go to the craft market.
Yeah. He asked me what I wanted. He's going to give me another crappy shirt like he always gets me.
Funny story about that. One time we came back from Jamaica, first trip I ever had. Me and my friends were all 18 to 21. We did bring back some paraphernalia, nothing illegal, but we got pulled out of line, x-rayed, the whole 9 yards. And so one of the guys brought back a wooden pipe for his dad, a legit gift. And the TSK or whoever the guy was, he looked at it, he goes, "Oh, you're busted now." And he took a big sniff of it. And it was brand new, so it was just sawdust. He had sawdust over his face, and he goes, "That doesn't smell like reefer." We were just dying laughing.
Oh, God.
Hoping we're not going to go to jail, but that was just too funny.
Speaking of reefer, Brushy One String, if he's playing anywhere, go check him out.
Will do.
Who?
Brushy One String. Jamaican artist.
I'd love to. I would really love to go over there with guys that I could go to clubs and stuff with. With the wife, we kind of wild in a hurry.
Anyway, I don't know what this was today, but it was a thing.
Yeah,
we were here.
We're out
Got
here.
proof of it.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.